Networks, where we have a handful of ACC teams kicking off. And let's start out in Raleigh. All the storylines you need to know for the NC State Wolfpack. C.J. Bailey, he returns. Second most passing yards by a true freshman in NC State history, behind some guy named Phillip Rivers. We've heard of him. NC State welcomes 2 new coordinators, but it'll be up to DJ Ellie to turn around a Pack defense that wasn't up to the standard for NC State last season. And the season opener is tonight against rival East Carolina. The two played in the Military Bowl, which was won by ECU and featured some physical play and some fisticuffs. It's going down at Carter-Finley Stadium. That game is going to be kicking off right here on the ACC network. It's a Wolfpack taking on ECU, and someone that has a front row seat to that game is going to be our Dana Boyle, ACC Network sideline reporter. Dana, thanks for making the time. Last season clearly wasn't up to the Pack standards, but if there was a silver lining, it was C.J. Bailey. What have you heard about him in terms of his confidence entering year 2?
Well, Justin, first, it's good to be with you guys. I don't know what I did to deserve to be on the top of the show, but I must have got a little bit lucky. But if you're C.J. Bailey, let's not forget that last year he got thrust into the starting role, not just any game, but week 4 at Clemson in Death Valley. And he said he was Grayson McCall's understudy, so he wasn't expected to take over that starting role. And you said it, he was the silver lining coming out of the 2024 season. This season, he's gained 27 pounds of muscle, but he also has a newfound confidence, and he finally feels like it's his offense and his team. He is in that leadership role, being voted captain by his peers. And when I spoke to him this week, he said he gained some muscle. He went out to the field about a month after his meal plan was in place. He's consuming about 5,500 calories, which is a ridiculous amount of food. But he said, I can sling the ball a lot farther. My legs are a lot stronger, but it hasn't slowed me down a bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing out here tonight. Dana,
please get that workout plan for me, because I'm going to need that ASAP. You also have—
I want the snacks.
Truly, I know. 5,500 calories, my God. You also have 41 new players on this team in addition to 2 new coordinators. How has this team grown in terms of chemistry coming into week 1?
Well, Dave Doran told us this week that he had to go back to square one. He had to introduce the team to each other. They had to learn each other's names, and he played a fun little game where he showed their high school tape up on the whiteboard, and he had the players guess whose high school tape that was. The players would come up, they'd introduce themselves, and he also forced them to sit together in the cafeteria. He said, you're not allowed to get a to-go box unless you have class. They had to learn each other's name and really start at square one. So I think that was a unique perspective headed into the 2025 season, Justin.
Sometimes you have to use those old school methods. Dana, good luck tonight. Appreciate you making the time.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
NC State and ECU will be kicking off right here on the ACC network. Still about an hour away from kickoff, but the big storyline, coach, is C.J. Bailey. What are your expectations for him entering year 2?
Well, I think he really stepped up last year, because it's really hard to get more than one quarterback ready. And last year, Grayson McCall got all the reps, and all of a sudden C.J. Bailey steps in there and takes over. Now he's a year older, a year more mature. He's gotten all the reps, and I think he has a really good supporting cast. Hollywood Smothers is back at tailback. He's got his 2 top receivers, Noah Rogers and Justin Jolie, a tight end back. And I think he's poised to have a good year.
Yeah, the big emphasis is that second-year leap. As a player, you have to think another year in the system, another year in college. I mean, we're talking about he gained nearly 30 pounds in the offseason. You have that second year. You can build off of the learnings from the first year. You have the new offensive coordinator coming in, which Coach Roper, who we had this past year as a QB coach, so they have that chemistry as well. So I expect big things. I mean, his freshman year was comparable, as you could see, with Phillip Rivers and Russell Wilson, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, Coach, and you also mentioned a supporting cast. Let's take a look at C.J. Bailey's weapons, because Casey Concepcion no longer there. He transferred, but they still do have some playmakers. Hollywood Smothers being one of them. He led the Wolfpack in rushing yards and total touchdowns. Justin Jolie led the team in receiving yards and touchdown catches. And then Noah Rogers racked up nearly 500 receiving yards. What do you like from this group?
Well, they're established and they've all played, and now they've had a whole offseason to work together. And starting out with Hollywood Smothers, he established himself last year as the lead back, and he's capable of making really big plays. Noah Rogers, who is the transfer from Ohio State, here you're going to watch him make a 75-yard play against Syracuse. You know, can he become the feature receiver? But the player for NC State that I really like is Justin Jolie. I think he's the best receiving tight end in the entire ACC. He's got a big frame. They use him in a lot of different ways. And here you're going to watch him against Cal catch a seam route. And this is not usually something you do with tight ends, but this is a contested catch right down the middle. He has wide receiver skills and a big frame. And for a quarterback, if you have a tight end like that, that's a great safety outlet for you.
Bryce, you brought up a great point. New offensive coordinator, but at least one that has familiarity with CJ. What does that do for his confidence having Kurt Roper there?
I mean, it can only increase it. It can only increase it. Coach Roper, he knows CJ Bailey at a little bit of a deeper level as opposed to if he had come in from a different place. He went through those freshman learning pains together as a unit. And ultimately having that relationship, building out that trust, Coach Roper knows what CJ excels at and what he needs to kind of improve on as well. And I'm sure that that was the focus of the offseason.
Just minutes away from kickoff, but oh man, watch out. Coach Blake Harrell got hit in the head, ECU's head coach. That is one way to say that you're keeping your head in the game.
I can't tell you how many times that's almost happened to me.
That is going to be going down right here on the ACC Network. This is a rivalry matchup. We're going to be locked in to see this guy year two. His very first career start was in Death Valley. It's nice to be back home. CJ Bailey was a silver lining last year. Much more on this matchup is around the corner. ECU taking on NC State. Justin Jolie is going to be one of the top targets for CJ Bailey. Jolie led the team in receiving touchdowns last year. 20 minutes away from kickoff. We'll break down more of this matchup in addition to Elon and Duke. Stick around, ACC PM.
No matter where you look on campus at NC State, you'll see red bricks, the literal building blocks, stepping stones, and heart of the university. They form the historic buildings and pathways that crisscross campus, and over 500,000 alone lay right here at the Brickyard. They're even under the paint and art of the Free Expression Tunnel. And at Carter-Finley Stadium, the red bricks welcome you as you enter. A constant reminder of the strength and connection that is the foundation of the NC State Wolfpack.
Linebacker Caden Fordham is back and fully healthy after a season-ending injury last season. 15 minutes away from kickoff, NC State hosting ECU. And now Fordham, you see he's rocking the #1 jersey. It's been awarded the last 11 years to a player who exhibits excellent work ethic. So congrats to Fordham. Nice to see him back out there. New defensive coordinator this year with DJ Elliott at NC State in addition to Kurt Roper on the offensive side. But defensively, Coach, what do you think Elliott will provide?
Well, DJ Elliott has a great reputation. I actually interviewed him over the phone a few years ago when I was the head coach at Wake Forest, and he came heavily recommended. But he is known to be one of these guys that's very creative with pressures, simulated pressures. And what that is when you rush a guy that the offense is not expecting to rush, and then you drop a guy they're not expecting to drop. Now, NC State's defensive structure kind of sets up for that with their 3-3 stack. But they have good players. Brandon Cleveland, Trevally Price, Sean Brown are all good returners, and Caden Fordham is back for him. And Caden's a young man out of Jacksonville that we, like, when I was at Wake, we tried to recruit him like crazy, and we were crushed when he picked NC State over us. So I'm not surprised at the success he's having. But this is a team that is very, very strong down the middle of their defense.
Yeah, and on the offensive side, you also have Hollywood Smothers. We keep speaking about what CJ Bailey is going to do. Hollywood Smothers is going to play a key role in that. Take a look at some of his numbers from last season, 571 rushing yards, and led the team with 100-plus yards and having that a few times. For more on a preview of tonight's game, here's Wes Durham and Steve Adazio.
Justin, thanks very much. We're excited to be in Raleigh to start week 1 of ACC Network football presented by Dr. Pepper tonight. The East Carolina Pirates and the NC State Wolfpack. Yep, they've made the 83-mile ride from Greenville into the state capitol here tonight, all the way from Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, the home of the Pirates, and they have come west. and into the capital city tonight. And we are just off the North Carolina State Fairgrounds tonight at Carter-Finley Stadium for what has kind of been known as a rivalry, but more kind of toned down, but it flared up again last year. Why? Because they had played the year before, and then they met in the bowl. Blake Harrell's still the interim coach, and all of a sudden here's Rajay Harris taking off, trailing by 1, and East Carolina takes the lead in the final 90 seconds. They end up winning 26-21. But what's the game been best known for? The final moments of the game. A little fisticuff, a little skirmish, and next thing you know, we got a melee. And we're going to miss some players in the first half. Brandon Cleveland of the Wolfpack won't play in the defensive line, and East Carolina's going to miss a backup lineman for the entire night. Great to be with Steve Addazio. Welcome, partner, up here to Raleigh tonight with us on ACC Primetime. But now the reality of the 2025 season sets in for the Pirates and Pack.
No doubt. And, you know, you hate to see what happened in the bowl game at the end of the game. That's not good for college football. It's not good for either team. And both these coaches know that. It was very upsetting to them. But they want to move beyond that. We want emotion. We want passion. But you got to control it. So now here we roll in 2025. None of that really matters. What matters is how was our preparation in preseason camp? What's the strength of our team? How are we going to play and perform tonight?
All right, and that's one thing the coaches talked about, not a repeat of last year. And for Dave Doran and NC State, the return of the Pack is headlined by the sophomore quarterback, C.J. Bailey.
C.J. Bailey is a real talent. You're talking about a 6'6" kid. He got thrust into the fire last year. A little unfair for a freshman, but you know, looking back, it gave him some great experience. They love this young man. They say he's a leader of the team. They say that he's a quick decision maker, a great NFL arm. Well, we're going to see him tonight, and I'm looking forward to watching him play.
34th meeting all time between NC State and East Carolina. Coming up at the top of the hour here from Carter-Finley Stadium in Raleigh.
In Raleigh, C.J. Bailey is that guy. It's year number 2. As a freshman, he put up numbers that Wolfpack fans haven't seen since Phillip Rivers. And now he's coming back bulked up, a lot more muscle, and way more confidence. Less than 10 minutes away from kickoff, it's NC State and ECU right here on the ACC Network.
I love the way he can play. He's been around great talent coming from South Florida.
That's why I play quarterback. I like feeling the pressure.
Bailey throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. But then the athleticism, okay? Extending plays, allowing time for receivers to get open.
So efficient and so accurate with the football.
Second most passing yards by a true freshman.
Going to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
C.J. Bailey delivers.
C.J., he's ready for the moment.
Just a few minutes away from kickoff at Carter-Finley Stadium, there's a lot of anticipation for the ECU-NC State showdown tonight, and that's because of what you're watching. These two faced off, if you remember, in last year's Military Bowl. ECU won 26-21, but became a lot more popular, unfortunately, because of some fisticuffs and a fight. It's year number 13 for Dave Doran at NC State. The motto is 1 pack, 1 goal, and that all starts tonight, 30-2. In non-ACC home games, will he be able to improve to 31-2? This is a hot ticket to get, fellas. Hot. How hot? Take a look at these numbers. The get-in ticket prices for tonight's East Carolina-NC State game, $156 according to the folks at TickPick. That is the 5th highest get-in price of any Week 1 game. You see the other ones featuring a lot of ACC teams, and that's because many consider this game a rivalry, especially based off of what we saw last year. Less than 7 minutes away from kickoff. Coach, what is the message that you're giving to your team knowing the way last year ended against ECU?
Well, you've gone through spring football, you've gone through camp. Trust your training, but NC State has a great home field advantage. Carter-Finley Stadium is one of the 4 hardest places to play in the ACC. And last year's game was at a neutral site. It was at a bowl game. So I think East Carolina has NC State's attention because of the bowl game. They're at home. The NC fan base is one of the most passionate fan bases in the conference, and they have smart fans. This is one of the 3 or 4 places in conference that you better have a silent count because you cannot hear on 3rd downs.
Oh, they're pumped up, all right. Less than 6 minutes away from kickoff. Bryce, if you are an NC State player that lost in that bowl game, how do you use that loss as motivation?
I mean, you have to think about how that game ended, right? I mean, mentally, this is a team that is maybe not a rival because they don't play every year, but they're right down the road. I'm sure there are some teammates who maybe played against each other in high school or on the same team. Mentally, you just got to focus on your assignment, though. You can't get too caught up in the moment. You got to do your 111 and be able to build off that.
Coach, with all of the nerves and the jitters for CJ Bailey, this is still his first time starting the season in a season opener as the guy. Do you want to roll out just simple plays for him in that first series?
No, you got to let him play. You got to let him run the offense. And I really like Kurt Roper as the offensive coordinator. I think Kurt's going to be more committed to running the football than NC State has been in a decade.
It's a new season. Week 1 is here. That's going to put a bow on this edition of ACC PM. For Bryce Love, Dave Clawson, I'm Justin Walters. We'll see you at halftime. ECU, NC State, West Durham on the call.
We welcome you to Raleigh and the start of Week 1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Tonight, a renewal of a series that's almost 52 years old. As ACC Network Football presented by Dr. Pepper brings you the 54th or the 34th meeting all time between NC State and East Carolina. And Dave Doran and the Wolfpack have emerged from the tunnel in the south end zone after new basketball coach Will Wade just fired up this near sellout house tonight at Carter-Finley, and here comes the Pack. Thursday night in Raleigh, and how long have you been waiting for this? Dr. Pepper presents ACC Network Football Primetime tonight in Raleigh. East Carolina's won 5 of the last 7 meetings. But this rivalry takes shape here tonight with the Wolfpack and Pirates. And for NC State, that means the sophomore signal caller from South Florida gets the ball. CJ Bailey is back after a terrific finish to the 2024 campaign. And there's the all-time winningest coach in NC State football history. Dave Doran starts campaign number 13 tonight here in Raleigh. Meanwhile, Blake Harrell was the interim coach a season ago, posted a 5-1 mark, got the job full-time, and tonight he's at the wheel of East Carolina. And his quarterback, well, he started the last half-dozen ball games a season ago for the Pirates. That's Caden Hauser, who gets the start tonight for ECU. And we welcome you upstairs. West Durham, Dana Boyle will join us in just a moment. And look who's here. We brought a dude to the game. Steve Addazio joins us on ACC Network Primetime. And, Coach, I don't have to tell you, they've been waiting a long time to play tonight, haven't they?
I'll tell you what, you get out of preseason camp, you want to get to the game. And the energy in this stadium tonight, when those players came out of that tunnel, you could feel it up here. And I'm excited, man. I can't wait for football to start. It's here, the best part of the year.
Yep, great to have you with us. And we're good to see Bailey here tonight for NC State. And Steve, the coaches could not say more about his development, his ascent as NC State's quarterback.
He is a really gifted thrower. He's got a smooth release. They love him, and they need him tonight to develop into the leader they believe he's going to be this season. And they expect such big things from CJ tonight.
Well, he's got a terrific skill set around him. He's got an emerging potential offensive line, very strong on the left side, kind of some new faces in there. And I'll tell you what, those last 2 games a year ago, 72%, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was terrific.
Yeah, he's going to just get better and better. He's got great skill around him at the running back position, at the wide receiver position, at the tight end position. So he's poised to have a great night.
East Carolina won the toss. NC State's going to get the ball first. The Wolfpack wearing their City of Oaks jersey here tonight to open the 25 campaign. Duke Scott is deep to return for the Pack. Redshirt freshman from Stockbridge, Georgia. And East Carolina will kick it from right to left as we open the ball game. And Scott will watch it sail through the end zone, and let's join Dana Boyle.
Well, you guys talked about C.J. Bailey and how dynamic he is in and out of the pocket, but let's not forget last year he was 17 years old when he was thrust into a starting role. Now he feels like being named quarterback 1 at the start of the 2025 season. It's his team. He's got a newfound confidence. He's been named captain, the youngest under Dave Doran, and he's thinking less and reacting more. He understands protections more under center, and his teammates, they love being around him. Most importantly, guys.
That's going to be interesting, Dana. Thank you. To watch C.J. Bailey, and now Kurt Roper is the offensive coordinator for this NC State Wolfpack. Smothers in the backfield with Bailey, and away we go from Raleigh. And here is Hollywood on the first carry, trying to get to the edge. He'll pick up 5 before he got tripped up by the corner Lowry.
Kurt Roper, Wes, is going to start to get that run game going. And they want to make sure that Hollywood has a chance to really pop through there and be the dynamic player, home run hitter that he can be.
Smothers a year ago, just 571 yards, averaged less than 52 yards a ball game for the Pack. Bailey on second down and a long 4. There's a slant route and the catch for Keenan Jackson. Out to the 41-yard line. Danga, the linebacker, makes the tackle after a gain of 12.
So what they're trying to do is run the quick game here and get the ball in the perimeter as fast as they can. Nice job of execution.
Jackson, only 12 catches a season ago, had 4 in the last 4 games. And that's the sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina, in motion to the slot left. Bailey wants to throw, steps up, long shot downfield, and just beyond the reach of Wesley Grimes.
Ball drifted a little bit right there. Nice route, good break off at the top of the route. Nice protection, nice pocket. But the ball just sailed just a little bit. He made a great effort to make a one-hand catch.
Jonathan Jean was the closest Pirate to Bailey, or to Grimes rather. So second in the full 10 for the Pack. That is Jolie, the tight end, in motion. And here's the give to Smothers. Made 2 miss. Hollywood to midfield. Down the far sideline. Flags thrown on the play as Smothers is chased out around the 22 of ECU. 36-yard run, but marker might be in the neighborhood of a hold on NC State.
Watch that move right there. Like, whoop, whoop. He's out. He bounces it, takes it to the perimeter. He's down the field. Looks like they're going to get a little bit of a holding penalty on the perimeter.
Charles LaMartina is the referee tonight from the American Conference.
Holding. Offense number 5.
So the spot of the foul was at the 39-yard line. Crowd seeing a replay on the video board here, and it is second and short here for the Wolfpack. Duke Scott has come in to spell Smothers. They also have plugged in Dante Daniels and Cody Hardy, a couple of tight ends here, Coach, for second and short. And here goes Duke Scott, and boy, the Pirates fire through. Danka, the linebacker, sliced him down for no gain, and so did Jamarly Riddle, the safety. Another look here on the hold against Noah Rogers.
You know, it's he's got his hands inside really well. He should have probably let go just a hair earlier, but that's a tough call to make right there.
3rd and short now for NC State. Pack was 37% a year ago, 11th in the ACC, 95th nationally. Smothers is checked back in the ball game. Joe Lee is like a wingback, strong side look in the eye, and there goes Bailey for the sneak and an easy first down. When you're 6'6", Steve, doesn't take much, right?
Yeah, Wes, and you know they're smart to run a QB sneak there. They saw East Carolina had 4 down, left the center uncovered. They knew they'd bring a little pressure at the wing, and they just cut right through there for an easy quarterback sneak. Really well done.
And Kurt Roper using a little tempo here. No huddle operation for the Wolfpack. They keep the personnel.
They just unwound all the pressure right there. He's changed in the play at the line of scrimmage. They saw the nickel coming.
1st and 10. They'll hand it again to Smothers. He'll fight through traffic and get 6 on 1st down to the 40, maybe toward the Pirate 39-yard line. Tegan Wilk, the boundary safety, the tackle. And NC State again just rolling guys in, but staying up over the football.
Trying to establish the run. Kurt Roper's doing a really nice job of keeping the pedal down with the run. That run is going to open up some really nice play action.
The tight end, Justin Jolie, to the top of the screen at 265 pounds. And he's got Anderson in the slot there to the left. 2-by-2 look for Bailey. He'll shoot it to Jolie, his first catch. And down to the 33, 34-yard line of East Carolina. That'll be enough for the first down.
He runs a quick little hitch and does a great job getting the ball. He's a big body out there, and you want to get him in the game early. Kurt doing a nice job of moving that ball around.
They're going to stack receivers to either side and hand the ball to Smothers here. And boy, the Pirates do a good job sorting this out. East Carolina got in there. Lampley peeled in off the end, and there's Day-Day Wilson, the linebacker. So a loss of 1 on the play back to the 35.
They came back with a gap scheme there and ran a little bit of a counter. First time tonight they've run their gap scheme.
That's Jolie in motion again. Snap to Bailey. Quick shot. Caught. 20-yard line. First down for NC State, and that's Grimes, or Anderson, beg your pardon. Terrell Anderson, the sophomore from Greensboro Grimsley, puts NC State right on the border of the red zone. Pack right up over the football, and here goes Duke Scott inside the 10, 1st and goal. Tegan Wilk the tackle, 13-yard run for the redshirt freshman.
They're going to run a little inside zone play here right now. Great jump cut, got vertical. The run game is starting to wear down the front of East Carolina. Here you go. You're seeing some exchange right now. They're tired. They're gassed.
East Carolina's first defensive possession has now reached 12 plays. 1st and goal for the Wolfpack. Again, the 2 tight look. Hardy and Daniels to the left side. Daniels looks. Going to throw for the end zone, and Anderson cannot, or Rogers cannot come back to make the play. Rashid Reason, one of the guys defensively that Josh Aldridge was excited about in coverage.
A little bit of grabbing of the jersey and impeding that route right there, and I thought it had a real impact on that play. He put air on the ball nicely. Last couple plays now, you've seen an RPO, which is run pass option down here. The one off the gap scheme, and I'll talk about that gap scheme in a minute, and then the other one off the tight zone play.
So Hollywood Smothers has come in, and Justin Jolie has come in. So they stay the 2 tight look to the left. Here's Bailey, clock winding down, and NC State going to ask for time. A little bit of confusion, I think, really on both benches there, Steve. Pirates are trying to get substitutions in. NC State was trying to fit personnel as well.
Yeah, no question. I think when you get down here as low as they are, North Carolina State is in the low red zone. You want to be sure down here. You don't want to waste a play. So I think the timeout was a really good decision. Going back, Wes, you're seeing a real diversity of run game here right now by Kurt Roper. You're seeing tight zone plays. You're seeing gap schemes. And, you know, I think gap schemes for the audience is when you build a wall with double teams on the play side. You have a puller who kicks, and you have a reamer who's going to ream up on the backer. It's about building a wall, separating the defense. You incorporate that with an RPO, it's tough to defend. Really impressed right now early with the diversity of their run game and the way that Kurt Roper is spreading the ball to his playmakers.
And NC State knew they had to run the ball better than they did a year ago. They were 9th in the ACC, 83rd nationally at 145 a game. Bailey is open 3 for 5 for 31 yards. And he's got Smothers in the backfield off the left hip. 2nd and goal. Here goes Bailey trying to keep it to the left side, and the Pirates rally to the football. Riddle, the safety, was there, and a flag has been thrown as the play unfolded, and we've got an injury for NC State. And it looks like
After the play was over, a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 54. 15-yard penalty on the dead ball spot, the down counts. It's 3rd down.
the injured player is the one that was penalized, Teague Anderson. A transfer from Utah State shaken up as we take a break in Raleigh. Well, Teague Anderson comes from the field under his own power, which is good. However, the penalty on Anderson pushes the ball back to the 22 here for 3rd down and goal to go for NC State.
Just a real foolish penalty. You know, those are those bad decisions. They're not talent issues, and they really can bite you. But we wish nothing but the best for him and hope he's going to be healthy.
Yep. Bailey in the gun, 3 to the field. Comes back, shoots it inside. Here's Smothers trying to make a guy miss outside the 10. Brought down shy of the 11. Jonathan Jean, the tackle. 11-yard play. And here comes Nick Konachinski, a redshirt freshman from Matthews, North Carolina, who was once referred to as an interesting prospect. Well, he's won the kicking job in what was a fairly hotly contested battle, it sounds like, according to the NC State coaches and Dave Doran. So Konachinski trying to get his career underway with a 29-yarder to give the Pack the lead. And the kick is good. So State had a red zone operation. Penalty sidetracked it. Konachinski covers it with the field goal. East Carolina touches it next. 3-0 Wolfpack.
ACC Network College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Here in Raleigh. I hope to light it red tonight. Meanwhile, Will Wade lit this place up. Now his basketball team celebrating the fact they're going to be a part of the Maui. They got a surfboard tonight. First time out. There we go. Ride the surfboard, fellas. There is plenty of excitement about football starting and what that guy's done since being named the basketball coach in March.
He looks like he has plenty of juice.
Yep. He's plenty of juice. So here is Charlie Birtwhistle to kick it away. Redshirt freshman. He's got a strong leg too. To the point there will be no return. 8 yards deep over the top of London Montgomery. Let's visit with Dana.
We're going to see Caden Hauser out here under center, and he also, like quarterback CJ Bailey, has a newfound level of confidence being named quarterback 1. At the start of the season, he told me, yes, his leadership has increased, but also his ability to identify the defense pre-snap, Steve, which has to be critical coming into a new season as a starter.
No question, Dana. I mean, that's what it's all about, getting a pre-snap read so you can make a quicker decision when it's live bullets. So that's a sign of maturity right there and a good job of being coached by his quarterback coach and the coordinators.
John David Baker offensive coordinator of the Pirates a year ago. 4th in the American, 24th nationally at better than 436 yards. Throw on the perimeter, and they try to get it in space to Petaway, and the pack is right there. Loss of 5 on the play. Jackson Vick, the redshirt junior nickel, made the play.
That's gang tackling at its best right there.
3-man front for NC State's new defensive coordinator, DJ Elliott. Hauser on the move. Dumps it in the flat. And that's DeCirio Riles, the tight end, making the play, and he got banged out of bounds right around the 26 or 27-yard line.
Well, DJ Elliott said he was going to bring simulated pressure. We can talk about it later. They brought one on that down and created 4-man rush.
Here's 3rd down. ECU 45% of season to go on 3rd down. Hauser from the pocket. Underneath, Montgomery dropped it.
Nice job of checking it down. You know, Caden Hauser saw that coverage was deep. He checked it down. Might have had a shot at the 1st down. Real mature play right there. Unfortunately, the ball was dropped.
A.J. Richardson there for NC State. And now, Steve, Blake Carroll's team defensively was on the field for 15 snaps, including the field goal. Offense goes 3 and out. That defense got to come right back now.
That's not that tempo offense can never really get ignited like that if you go 3 and out. And you're right. The defense is going to be on the field, and they're going to be tired.
Grimes, the fair catch. Wolfpack will start right around the 27 after a 46-yard punt. And one of the strengths of NC State's offense is their returning firepower. It's one of the top 3 in the ACC, headlined by Bailey. But then we've already seen Smothers, the talented sophomore running back. And then, how about Jolie, Rogers, and Grimes? That's not bad.
No, they're explosive, good players, and we're seeing Kurt Roper get the ball out to them and incorporating him in the game plan. I'm sure he'll continue to expand that. And that's what it's all about, make them defend it all.
Halfway through quarter 1, and Smothers with Bailey in the backfield. And here goes Hollywood Smothers trying to step away. A great run pursuit there. And that's Damian Wilson. Day-Day, a play behind the line.
So they jumped into Bear defense, East Carolina, and was it, you know, Bear is to stop the run, where you cover the center, you cover both guards, and you cap both edges. It's a run-stopping defense, and they created a negative yardage play there. Nice tackle.
Wilson had just 28 tackles a season ago. 10 of them came in the last 2 ball games for the Pirates. Here's Bailey, sidearm throw. What a catch! Jolie turning the corner to the 30-yard line. What a grab by the 6'3", 263-pound tight end here.
2 athletes, the quarterback, and obviously Jolie here with a tremendous reception. But watch him on the sideline. One-hand catch, which is unbelievable. Then watch him put his foot in the ground and get vertical. That's a sign of a heck of a player.
2nd down, or 3rd down rather, and about a half dozen here after the 2nd down catch by Jolie. Pirates bringing pressure. Bailey to his right, thought about it, shoots it back across the field. It's caught. 1st down at the 40-yard line. Noah Rogers holds on for the conversion.
Yeah, you hate to see him throw across his body like that across the field, but you know, when that's what good players do, they can see the whole field. He was real shifty when getting out of the pocket, kept his eyes down the field. Well done by C.J. Bailey.
Here's the snap. Boy, the run production now stymied a little bit. The give straight ahead, but Kendrick Dujour, the rush in that time. And that's one of the things Josh Ulrich talked about was Raheem Craig, Julian Davis. Thought they would get some pressure from Lampley. Dujour helping out head coach Blake Carroll there on 1st down.
They're mixing the fronts right now. They're moving the defensive front, trying to create confusion. It looks to me on that play, though, that someone cut him loose. It might have been at the right tackle spot at Rico Jackson.
Here's Bailey trying to trap and hand the ball to Duke Scott, and the Pirates do a great job. Inside, the first guy there was Ryan Roseborough. And then Day-Day Wilson was also in on the tackle, right from the seam of the Pirate defense for Blake Carroll.
Day-Day's in on a lot of tackles right now. There's penetration there. The East Carolina defensive front 7 is playing on the North Carolina State's line of scrimmage. And that's not what you want to have happen, putting you in a long third down. These aren't great manageable downs here. They'll probably bring pressure here.
3rd down and 13. Bailey trying to see if he can pick something up on what's happening. Here come the Pirates. Bailey underneath. The catch is made. Grabbed by Anderson, and he's knocked on the button by Wilk right around the 40-yard line. And NC State snaps it 4 times, and now they'll punt it away.
They brought double B blitz. Both inside backers came through the B gaps and penetrated. I thought C.J. Bailey did a nice job of checking it down, but I thought East Carolina's coverage played high to low, collapsed, made the tackle, put him in 4th down, kicked the ball. Nice defense.
Caden Noonkester, 43.6 average a year ago, net of under 40. Kyler Pearson at Oklahoma State a year ago, 7.5 yards on just 7 returns. He'll signal for and make the fair catch. 41-yard punt. Pirates will get it back. NC State 3, East Carolina nothing. Well, here in Raleigh, NC State with an early lead. Don't forget, the college football keeps coming on ACC Network tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. A Legacy Federal Credit Union Stadium over in Winston-Salem. The Jerry Mack era starts for Kennesaw State, and the Jake Dickert era begins for Wake Forest. 2 first-year head coaches square off. ACC PM kicks off the evening at 6. Kick at 7 from Winston-Salem. And Hauser, the keeper, on 1st down. Picks up a couple.
Well, East Carolina's going to get to the ball fast, but they got to get their first down. It's really critical to establish some momentum. He pulled the ball off that inside zone play himself.
Parker Jenkins is the running back with Hauser here. And the Houston transfer going to get the call. Flag is thrown as Jenkins is hit by Sebastian Harsh, 54 in the red jersey. Has made quite a name for himself, and a penalty on NC State.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So this is Kyle Long.
Oh, he's got him right around the neck. That's a WWF takedown right there. You know, that's not real hard to see. That play wasn't going anywhere, though. That was defended. They tried to run it. Once again, a counter gap scheme, but NC State penetrated.
2nd down, almost 20. Jet sweep coming to the near side. Petway, they tried to get it in his hands a couple times. He's going to slide down at the 11. Caden Fordham, and now a flag's been thrown. I think they're going to get a late hit here on Tervali Price of NC State. Are they going to pick this up or not?
There is no foul on the play. 3rd down.
Good call. That was not a foul. That's a good call by the official, making it right.
And you see Fordham right there, and then Price was trying to keep momentum.
They're just trying to pursue to the ball. NC State's got great pursuit. They're running to the football. I love that. Keep that pace up. Big 3rd down now. You got to be careful here now. 3rd and 20. Don't do anything foolish with the ball.
Hauser from the pocket. Pressure coming to his right. Sails it across the field. Yannick Smith the catch. Helped out of bounds by Devon Marshall.
That's a nice one-on-one tackle by Devon Marshall with a lot of space. Well defended. Good pressure on Caden Hauser. Flushed him from the pocket. Threw off his back foot. That's dangerous. Good defense. Should get, North Carolina State's going to have good field position here.
There are 3 and outs for DJ Elliott's unit, Steve.
Yeah, great job getting them off the field, but you know, East Carolina's got to establish some offensive momentum here and get their first down.
Ryan Levy to punt it away again. And Grimes signals for and makes the fair catch right around the 39-yard line with 2:04 to go in this first quarter. 43-yard punt by the Duke transfer, who did not play at Duke. He had 30 career games as a punter at Furman. Did Ryan Levy. And here's C.J. Bailey in possession number 3 for the Wolfpack. Kind of seen both ends of the spectrum. A 15-play drive, got a field goal, 5-play possession resulting in a punt. And now they're going to start the Wolfpack are from their own 39-yard line.
East Carolina's really committing heavy to the run. I wouldn't be surprised to see the ball, whether off a play action, get down the field here.
Joe Lee, the tight end, in motion. Bailey with time, long throw, catch made near midfield. Trying to spin away from traffic, the Wolfpack. And the long throw to Teddy Hoffman, true freshman from Delray Beach, who enrolled here in January. Nicely done, 10-yard strike.
Loosen up that defense a little bit, and because, you know, they're committing to the run so heavily here.
That's Hoffman in motion on the orbit. They'll get it to him this time on the perimeter. Caught it on the run, and boy, got tripped up and dropped nicely, and that was Lowry. Jordy Lowry has been consistent as a tackler from the secondary for Blake Harrell here early.
That was he defeated that block out on the perimeter. I mean, that was really physical because that play had legs. But when you knock that block back like that, it bubbles the receiver catching the ball and really kills the play. Well done on defense.
65 seconds to go in this first quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Pack, and here's another quick throw. Look at Hoffman. This is an ISO package for him. That's a throw of right at 5 ahead of Rashid Reason. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 4 here. How about Teddy Hoffman? Seeing a full house in your first college game and touch the rock 3 straight times, Steve.
Well, these are RPOs. They're not called to him. These are coming off that run game right now, both of the last 2 plays, and they're just taking advantage of the off-soft coverage out there in the perimeter. This might be a 2-down territory here to get a first.
That's Hoffman in motion again to the wide side. Snap to Bailey with time again. CJ in the pocket, going to shoot it down the field, and it's caught. Oh my goodness, the rookie Hoffman. Son. 1st and 10 at the Pirate 18-yard line on a 27-yard throw and catch.
Watch the mobility in the pocket by C.J. Bailey. Doesn't panic, keeps his eyes down the field, hits the corner route, really accurate. Nice job.
My goodness, we heard Teddy Hoffman might be a factor. He's made plays. NC State's had the ball more than 12 minutes in this first period.
You're seeing the immersion of a quarterback here, Wes. It's exciting.
Coach Harrell, what has your attention as we move to the second quarter?
Yeah, thanks, Dana. The big thing is we got to keep getting stops defensively, get off the field. You know, he's getting some freedom back there. We got to get it to the quarterback. He's throwing the ball down the field. And offensively, we got to move the sticks a little bit. You know, once we get in the rhythm, get things going, I'll feel fine. But we got to do that first.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And NC State operating now at East Carolina's 18. 3-0 Wolfpack. We go to quarter 2 here in Raleigh. Bailey another play fake, going to shoot it out in the flat here. Smothers, first guy missed at the 15, and he'll pick up right at about a half dozen on the throw. Ryan Roseborough comes out of the defensive tackle stance to make the play. Steve, why is NC State this tempo now? We thought we might see some. We're seeing a whole lot here in the first quarter.
Well, I think when you start moving the chains, you get your first down and you're running the ball like they are. You want to keep that defense on the field. You want to wear them out and press them. And I think that's really a good strategy.
C.J. Bailey's hit 5 in a row. Now 12 of 14 in the ball game. Pistol set here. Hand it to Smothers at the right side. Trying to turn the corner. And, boy, a lot of damage over there. And the Pirates are able to get him to the ground. You know, Xavier McKeever.
They're either lining up in that Bear defense where they cover the center, or they're running to it. What I mean by that is they're taking the inside backer and plugging him. So they're adding a lot of players there. See, he just plugged the A gap. It's tough to run the ball in there. He's probably going to have to get some play action down here, or some drop back, but he's probably going to have to throw it here.
3rd down and 3 at the 11. They've got to get to the 8, break the 8 for to be 1st and goal. Bailey keeping it. Got a block from Smothers. C.J. Bailey scores. Touchdown for NC State. An 11-yard run for the score.
So that was a strategy. They ran the Q counter because they were going to take 2 downs here. They were not going to kick a field goal. So they wanted to run it and then do what they wanted on 4th. That was going to be a 2-down strategy. Great call by Kurt Roper and good decision by Dave Dorn.
Bailey had 5 rushing scores a year ago. The Wolfpack's first touchdown of 2025 is an 11-yard score here. Konachinski's point after is good. So C.J. Bailey on a 3rd down play. Got a nice help block from Hollywood Smothers, his running back. And into the end zone to make it 10-0. 10-0 NC State, and the sophomore quarterback from South Florida has been special. 5 for 5, 49 yards. A lot of it to the freshman Teddy Hoffman before he got the touchdown run on his own.
Yeah, I think you're seeing really great development out of CJ. I like his pocket poise. I like his eyes down the field. And I like the fact that he had this run right here where it's a demeanor run. Look how he shows a little wiggle, but watch him lower his pads to get in the end zone. That shows his teammates his toughness.
Kick will bounce around the 10-yard line, and here comes London Montgomery back upfield with it for the Pirates. Full head of steam. Pretty good return out toward the 35 for Montgomery. But Steve, we had expectation of what Bailey might do after following the end of the 24 campaign. Based on that expectation, what have you seen that you like the most here in the first 3 drives?
His poise, his leadership. He's not flustered, and now I saw some toughness. I think when you put those things together and his good decision making, he's off to a good start.
Perfect on that last drive. And now here's Caden Hauser. And just as Blake Harrell told Dana, East Carolina now almost has to generate their own. They've had 2 3-and-outs. NC State scored 10 points in their first 3 possessions. Here's the give, and this is Marlon Gunn Jr. And he can't quite get started because 54. There is Sebastian Harsh. He arrived in May, grad student from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Adazio, they went to Wyoming in the portal and got Sebastian Harsh.
Well, I'll tell you what, that Wyoming program's put a lot of players in the transfer portal, and they do.
Uh-oh, snap over the head of Hauser, and he's just going to fall on it back near the 10-yard line. Unforced error. Darius Bell, who started 6 ball games a year ago, sailed it over the head of his quarterback in a loss of 23.
Yeah, it's just one of those launched high snaps where you your butt comes up in the air high and the ball lifts and you flick it with your wrist. He might have been seeing something late, caught his attention. That's the center there, Darius Bell, but that's not good.
So now it's 3rd and a zip code. On the perimeter, try to get it in Petaway's hands again. He's got a lot of speed, and they're trying to create space. But NC State gets Marshall out there defensively. And another 3-and-out for ECU.
It's another 3-and-out. It's a demoralizing 3-and-out. And once again, now you're going to punt the ball from your end zone, given great field position. North Carolina State's playing on the short field. East Carolina's playing on the long field. That's never a good combination.
They'll snap it back, Levy to punt again. Driving it toward Grimes, plus territory, fair catch at the 48. Tonight, the 34th meeting between ECU and NC State. Series started in 1970, but in 1987, East Carolina came to Raleigh, and look at the big shoulder pads and the Pirates script on the purple helmets. And the Pirates stunned Dick Sheridan's pack 32-14, and East Carolina tore down the goalpost in this stadium.
Wow. I'm guessing NC State might have saw that on video this week a couple of times.
Well, and in 1987, when that happened, Jim Valvano, who was the athletic director at the time, postponed the series.
Wow. Great history, Wes. That is great history.
Oh, wait, there's more. Hollywood Smothers, the running back. Bailey, plus territory throw, the perimeter, and trying to get to the outside is Anderson. Terrific pursuit from Riddle, the safety. Been really impressed with Josh Aldridge's back half, Steve, defensively. Good tackling out of that East Carolina secondary.
Yeah, he was shot out of the cannon and closed the distance really quick. I thought that play might have had a little more juice left in it, but it was a great job of accelerating through the tackle.
There's Riddle from Camden County down in southeast Georgia. Here's the snap to Bailey. CJ gunning middle of the field. That's caught in stride. Touchdown for Wesley Grimes. And in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, NC State has scored 2 touchdowns.
That's one of those plays where Kurt Roper said, Coach Dorn, I'm going to take a shot. And he said, go ahead. They max protected it. They put the ball vertically down the field and got an explosive down in the high red zone.
Koloczynski the point after. And the Wolfpack now leads 17-0. Almost 4 minutes gone. Second quarter in Raleigh. C.J. Bailey's run for 1 and now thrown for 1. Well, C.J. Bailey's been terrific. Run for 1, now thrown for 1. And the latest big 48-yard strike to Wesley Grimes here, Steve.
They ran a nice vertical route combination here. They got 4 verticals, they leaked the back, and he read that thing inside out into the boundary, and he found Wes Grimes, the fastest guy on the field, for a nice tug. And that was beautiful. Touchdown explosive, just what they wanted. Explosive plays in the high red zone. Well done.
And Dana wanted C.J. Bailey's characteristics, too.
He's never shied away from the big moment. Kurt Roper telling us that since day one, despite being 17 years old when he came into the Wolfpack crew, he's always been decisive. Steve, you like his toughness? I like his decision making.
You're right on, Dana. He's making quick decisions with confidence. And that's what they talked about, the things that he worked on in the offseason. And you can see it on display, but you're right on the money.
All right, so great balance out of the NC State offense here so far has led them to this 17-0 lead. Now DJ Elliott's defense, who's forced 3 straight 3-and-outs, they're probably going to take some heavy artillery shots here from East Carolina. Hauser and the Pirates, if they're going to hang around tonight, they got to find a way to create their own here, right?
They do, and what DJ Elliott's doing is bringing the simulated pressures that are so popular right now, which really means is their second-level player, a linebacker or safety, is creating the 4-man rush.
Parker Jenkins in the backfield with Hauser. He'll take a toss going to the boundary side and being chased and dropped. And that is Kean Sloan, number 8 in the red jersey tonight for the Wolfpack. It's a transfer from Utah State, and Dave Dorn could not stop talking about this defensive end yesterday.
Oh, he loves him now. He says he's a rough, physical, tough guy, and he just gets his hands on people and shrugs them.
Hauser the quick throw, catch made in space, Smith there, and the stop, Sebastian Harsh. The other transfer from the Mountain West.
That was one of those simulated pressures again. So DJ Elliott is going to try to confuse the front and confuse their protection and try to free somebody up.
Third and a long 3 here for the Pirates. Throw on the perimeter. Jenkins the catch, kept his balance, tries to break and does. Flag gets thrown on the play as Jenkins picks up the first down. Parker Jenkins the catch and run, but the marker back around the line of scrimmage. Charles LaMartino is our referee from the American Conference tonight.
Holding, offense number 9. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
So Anthony Smith, who transferred from NC State to Greenville and plays now for the Pirates for the last couple of years, he's guilty of the hold.
That's a flat takedown right there. He double arm grabbed him, and that's a shame. They had a first down, their first down, and now they're back with a 3rd and long, which is puts them in a real tough situation here. Be careful with this call.
Jenkins stays in the ball game with Hauser. Straight drop, pressure coming, throws back up the field, way offline. Harsh and Sloan both there. Kean Sloan, the pressure.
Really nice pressure by Kean Sloan. I believe he ripped him inside, under, and beat him inside, got vertical in the quarterback's face. Yeah, there it is. See him beat the tackle inside, flush the quarterback, and he's just throwing the ball away right there.
4 straight 3-and-outs now for the Pirates. Grimes, who caught the touchdown pass, fair catch made at the Wolfpack 40-yard line. Don't forget, all day Saturday, we're here for you on ACC Networks. Start at noon. Pat Narduzzi brings Pitt to the turf at Acrisure to meet Duquesne. Then at 3 o'clock off to Louisville. Cardinals welcome Tom Luganville's son Quaid, the long snapper of the EKU Colonels, to Derby City at 3 o'clock. 6 o'clock, Coastal Carolina visits Virginia. And then Coach and I and Dana will be in Big D. Presented by ServPro, East Texas A&M, in their first ever meeting with number 16 SMU. Full day of football right here on ACC Network, and always available now for you on the ESPN app. And here's a takedown behind the line by Danka on the give to Hollywood Smothers. Terrific play by the Pirate linebacker from Lorton, Virginia.
Somebody cut him loose. He should have been accounted for in that zone scheme right there. But he came flying through unblocked. So you got a negative yardage play. That's one of the things they did last year. They're trying to get rid of this year is negative yardage plays.
Smothers has been cut down on his last 4 carries behind the line. Here's Bailey to throw. 4-man pressure from the Pirates. CJ had his arm, I think, clipped as he cut it loose on the way to Jolie. J.D. Lampley, number 9, coming off the edge for the Pirates. Bottom of your screen here.
So he's shimmying up in the pocket right there, and Teague Anderson is sort of getting bent back into him and got his arm hit. You know, we're wondering if Teague is still feeling a little bit in that leg and doesn't have the same power.
3rd down and long now. That's Smothers going wide to the right. They're going to get it to him in space. Trying to ride a block. He'll get to the 40, and good tackling by the Pirates. At the 41-yard line, Kevon Merrill, sophomore from Cordele, Georgia, makes the play, and that's the first 3-and-out of the night for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that's exactly what East Carolina needed, and that was really a good open field tackle on a very elusive back, and made a really good stop on defense and gives them a chance to get this ball back here.
So here's Noonkester to punt it away. Kyler Pearson, the Oklahoma State transfer, deep. And Noonkester sets that one free, and it'll bounce into the end zone. That is 60 yards on the punt. Well, we told you there have been moments in this series. The 92 Peach Bowl. Oh, look at old Fulton County Stadium. And that's Jeff Blake. Pirates had a big deficit going to the second half. Blake brings ECU back, and then this is the one they still talk about all over the state if they wear purple. You can paint the Peaches purple. Luke Fisher, the touchdown, a final field goal try by the Wolfpack, was off to the right, and East Carolina won 37-34. Now on the punt by Noonkester, there was a penalty.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal formation, offense, more than 4 members in the backfield. Holding, receiving team number 7. Those fouls will offset. 4th down.
So they're going to replay what was a 59-yard punt by Noonkester.
That's a nice break for NC State. They want to see if they can get this thing inside the 10. Somebody wasn't on the line of scrimmage. Got to move up for NC State.
Steve, you got to live with kind of the unforced stuff in game 1, don't you? I mean, you don't want them, but they're there.
They're there. Those are the mistakes you're trying to squeeze out. They happen a lot usually in the first couple of weeks. It's not uncommon for a punt team. These guys you see in the front in the box right here, one of the tackles might have been a little too deep, and they're not breaking the plane. There you go. They moved up. You can see it.
So here's Noonkester again. And he'll drive another one. Boy, this one's hanging high. Pearson will run off. It's going to check and bounce in again. Another 59-yarder from Caden Noonkester.
Not getting that nice back bounce right there. You know, he's 2 punts in a row with the top spin heading into the end zone.
So the Pirates will load it up, trailing 17-0. NC State kind of hitting the wall a little bit for the first time tonight offensively. As you look at John David Baker, the second-year offensive coordinator, came over from Ole Miss, had worked at Southern Cal and also at North Texas.
This is West, where what you need to do right now is, you know, David Baker has got to go back to the start and say, okay, let's restart this game right now and let's do what we do best.
And they try to get the ball in space again. Mike Wright, the second quarterback, comes in the ball game, takes a handoff from Caden Hauser and loses 4.
Yeah, that was a misread by Caden. He should have pulled the ball and ran it. He gave the ball when the defensive end was up the field. That's a misread.
Wright playing at his 4th school in his college career. Here's Hauser fighting upfield, and he got a big paw early. Chase Bond, I think, got a hand up there to slow him down, and then they polished him off. It looked like Chaz Wallace was the first guy, and then Bond.
That was a good call. You know, they're against drop 8. The defense, North Carolina State, was dropping 8 players. Run the quarterbacks good, but the defensive line for NC State ate up the offensive line from East Carolina, and 3 men swallowed them up.
Montgomery, the running back. 2-by-2 look for Hauser. Here comes the pressure. Back across the middle. It's caught. First down for ECU. Terrific catch. And that's Desirio Riles. And a flag down behind the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Low hit on the passer. Defense number 33. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
So Kenny Soares, after the first down of the night for East Carolina, adds the penalty. And that'll push the play all the way to midfield now with just ahead of 7 minutes to play.
Boy, that's close. That's a bang-bang play right there. I mean, I don't know.
Another throw on the perimeter. They try and free it up down the far side. This is Anthony Smith. First time tonight, John David Baker's offense picked up a first down, and now they've added another one. Stacked it right on top. Ronnie Royal shoved him out of bounds. And here goes the tempo we heard about. Hauser wants to take the shot. That is Smith, and cannot make the play. Jamel Johnson was tracing steps with Anthony Smith. 48th career game tonight for Smith. He spent 3 seasons in Raleigh. 11 catches, 3 touchdowns, averaged 20 yards a catch in his Wolfpack career.
Well, Anthony Smith had him beat, and with the right throw right there, that would have been 6. Caden Hauser's had 2 real good shots right now.
Play fake to Montgomery, quick shot, and broken up on the play. Jamel Johnson on a ball for Tyler Johnson, transfer from Penn State. And look who gets to play in the second half. 44 in the red. He's waiting like it's a fight, and they're going to let him come to the ring in the second half.
And he can do some damage.
Oh boy,
that's
Brandon
a run
Cleveland,
stopper.
fun to watch.
Yeah, run stopper in the middle, be a big boost to the defense.
You saw Val Erickson, the backup in the offensive line. He too will be eligible to play in half 2. And a hit made that time. Out on the perimeter, that is Sloan. Boy, and NC State is just flying to the football on the ball that time for Tyler Johnson, I think.
Well, they have to, because they're getting the ball out fast with the numbers.
And we get a timeout called by the Wolfpack here. Indeed we did.
Prior to the snap, NC State takes their second charge time out of the half.
So East Carolina, who was negative 28 in their first 4 drives, has 51 yards on this possession, trying to get it to the red zone when we come back to Raleigh. ACC Network football presented by Dr. Pepper. Our pleasure to kick off week 1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference tonight here in Raleigh. East Carolina, NC State, 4th down for the Pirates. They need a full 4 here. Off the 28, the ball got fumbled on the snap and thrown over the head of Montgomery out of bounds. So the Pirates, who had their best drive of the night offensively, cash out on downs.
Yeah, that's a shame. You know, they had an opportunity here on 4th down, but he mishandles it, has to put his eyes on the ground. There was penetration up front, and the ball's out.
And C.J. Bailey, who has scored on the ground and through the air for the first time in his career in this first half. And Konachensky has added a field goal.
This is one of those, you know, drives here where you would like to see a nice poised drive down the field and for them to score a touchdown.
And they're going to start on 1st down and look at Smothers. Hollywood across the 35 to the 37. Riddle tripped him up in the secondary. Danka was shaken up on the play as they stepped out of there, but he stays in the ball game. And here's the 2nd down play, and Smothers trying to keep his feet. He'll still be short. It'll be 3rd and 1. Teagan Wilk. Boy, Josh Aldridge's group really closes nicely, Steve, from the secondary.
Yeah, they do. They rally to the ball. They play fast and they play physical. It looks like they have some nice pieces to work with over there. You know, I'm surprised they went tempo on that play. I would like to see them kind of line it up and get a high-level execution and get the 1st down.
Wolfpack's 4 of 7 on 3rd down. Everybody bunched up here. About a yard. They give the ball to Smothers. 1st down, almost stepped out at the 43.
That's a run set.
Wilson the stop. 1st down for State.
Yeah, that's a running set right there, that tight end wing set. That's a nice vertical puncture. You know, that's when you say to your team, all right, guys, we got to get a yard. Can we make a yard? Let's go get a yard. They got a yard. Move the chains. Here we go.
Here comes Duke Scott, the redshirt freshman, into the ball game now with Bailey in the backfield. 1st and 10. CJ wants to throw. Pressure coming. Back foot shot is broken up. It was on the way to Hoffman, and that is Chance Graves, the Richmond transfer, who played 36 ball games for Russ Huseman up in the capital city of the Commonwealth, breaking on that.
Yeah, he was late with that throw. That's a late throw that could have went the other way. Got to be careful with that. They had pressure from the field.
In motion goes Hardy, the tight end. And here's Bailey trying to hand the ball in. Boy, Duke Scott can't break free. DJ Johnson makes the play at the 44.
They're cutting the front. What I mean by cutting the front is they're twisting in there.
Okay.
And, you know, I think they ran an inside TT twist in there and ate up the seams for the running lanes. They're doing a lot of that, and that's why, you know, CJ's had some success throwing the football and getting it outside.
3rd down and a full 9 for the Pack. Pirates bringing pressure. Bailey cuts it loose. It got deflected, and is it intercepted? No, incomplete is the call. In front of the East Carolina bench. Merrill almost came up with it. Intended for Grimes. Oh, it's Merrill who got the hand on it, and then Chance Graves, who we spoke of a moment ago. Yep, ball hit the turf.
What a play, though, huh?
Yep.
I mean, look at the outstretched arm right there, knocking that ball up like that. I mean, they're playing hard on defense, Wes. You got to give credit to East Carolina and John Aldridge.
Previous play is under further review.
So Charles LaMartino and the American Conference crew here want to look at this, but
hit the ground.
Right. I don't think they'll be very long here.
I wouldn't think so.
And that's just one look.
Yeah, you're going to see it right here. Hit the ground.
Yeah. And you can hear the reaction from the Wolfpack partisans here at Carter-Finley. Oh, another terrific crowd here tonight to watch State open their 2025 campaign in Raleigh.
You know what? I'm a little surprised. You saw the play action shot for the touchdown. I just think the way they're playing defense, North Carolina State, East Carolina, North Carolina State should.
Ruling on field of an incomplete pass is upheld. 4th down.
So Graves just missed it, Dana.
Almost interception or not after that play was reviewed. That injected a whole new sense of life and energy to the ECU sideline. Don't think they're going away anytime soon, guys.
Blake Harrell, though, with 4:11 to play, trailing 17-0. Remember, he gets the ball to start the second half. Noonkester hanging one high here to the near side. Pearson signals for him, makes the fair catch at the 14.
Well, you're right, Dana. They're giving him a little bit of juice. They're pumping a little life in him, and you know, this is where you'd like to try to put a little bit of a halftime knockout down, but give credit to East Carolina, especially the way they're rallying to the ball on defense.
Well, and look at the way the ball game started. 4 straight 3-and-outs. You see the minus 28 yards of offense, and then 51 on 8 plays, and they turned it over on downs there. So John David Baker knows exactly the landscape. All 3 timeouts, 4-minute offense. Although his 4-minute offense might have 14 plays in it, the way they want to run it. Bunch look to the field, or the boundary rather, and they're going to hand the ball to Parker Jenkins, and he got hit immediately. 88's Isaiah Shirley. And they're making the stop for NC State.
They put that 3-man bunch into the boundary to see if they could get numbers to flick the ball out there and get a nice little long stick run with a throw. But they didn't have the numbers, so they handed it off inside.
4 in the box for the Wolfpack. 2 linebackers shifting. They're going to hand the ball on the ground again, and State swallows it up. Harsh came around to make the play. Had some help with Shirley again. Sloan is shaken up and still down. Kean Sloan, the outstanding transfer from Utah State.
Timeout for injured defensive player.
Sloan brings a physicality, and he brings an energy to that front. So he would be a guy that would be missed here. Hopefully he's going to be okay here.
We'll see what happened here as Kean Sloan gets to his feet. So in from the left side comes Sloan. A little friendly fire maybe there, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his whole body whipped, and a lot of times when that happens, you know, you don't know. It could be a mirror of things, but that dude plays hard, man. He's a hard charger.
In motion comes Mangrum. Here's Hauser looking to throw, center of the field, and finds it in the person of Anthony Smith, who will hold on for the first down catch to the 26. Sean Brown, we have not called Brown's name much in the opening half, making his 21st consecutive start tonight for the Wolfpack. Here's Hauser, hit as he throws, puts it up, and it is overshot. Looking for Smith again.
He got whacked pretty good. I don't know if it was right at the end of his release. It might have affected that throw a little bit. But he had a shot there, but I think he gets banged around here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Trey Thomas, the Temple transfer.
Yeah, he had him all right. Really a good effort by Hauser.
Second in the full 10. Inside 3 minutes to go. Hauser, pocket winding around, and he'll be sacked. Caden Fordham returning to the Wolfpack lineup tonight after missing the second half of the 24 campaign with a knee injury. Post NC State's first sack, and here's a quick snap. Flags are thrown. Ball is caught. Keeping his feet is Javante Connor, the tight end. Flags are down, and Connor scores for the Pirates. It's going to be 12 men on the field, I believe, against NC State. This has a chance to stand at 79 yards.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they couldn't get off the field. I'm surprised they didn't call timeout.
Substitution. More than 11 players on defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So you can see the traffic for NC State defensively. What a great effort by Connor to make the catch and then keep his feet, Steve.
Yeah, he took a shot and he kept his balance and he brought it to the end zone. Good blocking. That's a momentum turner for East Carolina for sure. They obviously worked on that, trying to trick the defense. You got to get a timeout in that situation. You just got to get the timeout.
Extra point is good, and the Pirates are on the board in Raleigh. 10-point lead for NC State. 2:21 to go.
Gave them life. There's life now. A lot of energy. Like Dana said earlier, they were perking. And now a big play like that puts them right back in this game with energy going into the half. Big turn.
6 plays, 88 yards, 79 on the throw to the Ole Miss transfer. Javante Connor from Winston-Salem. And now all of a sudden, let's see if C.J. Bailey and the Wolfpack have an answer. And the Pirate faithful that are here tonight at Carter-Finley up and going for the first time tonight.
I was getting ready to talk about Biscuit, Caden Fordham, making that play on defense with a simulated pressure, and before you know it, the tables turned.
Duke Scott waits. And he'll let it hit a couple of yards deep and bounce out. NC State going to start from its 25, 7th possession of the first half for the Wolfpack, whose 17 points came in their first 4 possessions tonight. And now C.J. Bailey, who's 15 of 20 for 158, a touchdown and a rushing score. Tries to see if he can get this offense one more threat before the half. Hollywood Smothers, the running back. Rogers, Grimes, and Keenan Jackson to the field. And this is Smothers. And he'll be brought down. McIver, the tackle, makes the play.
It's just too much penetration right now. Those are missed blocks. That's poorly blocked up front. And quite honestly, not enough effort, not enough leg drive finish. Guys are falling off blocks, getting around the blocks and making tackles.
2-minute timeout. 1:57 to play in Raleigh. East Carolina on the boards, trailing 10 to NC State.
Clock to 2 minutes.
I don't know where Dave Dorn and Blake Harrell are on the middle 4 or the middle 8 or the middle 6, but we're in the middle 4 right here. The last 2 of the first half, the first 2 of the second half, right?
Yeah, no question. We're in it right now. The management of that and the production.
2nd down. 6 plays behind the line by this East Carolina defense in the first half. Bailey to throw, checks the perimeter, now going to shoot it out there in the flat. And look at the speed by Grimes. First down across the 40, pulled out of bounds. Clock will stop. NC State's got the 1 timeout you see as we go inside 2 minutes on the Day-Day Wilson tackle.
Yeah, he flicks this out here. He has numbers, which means that they're short on defense in the perimeter, and gets a nice screen out there and gets positive yards. This offensive line for NC State's got to toughen up a little bit here. There's too many missed blocks. You can't have 6 TFLs in the first half.
15-yard throw from Bailey to Grimes, and now they're going to hand it to Smothers. Hollywood tries to keep his feet, does, and stretches for at least a couple of extra yards toward the 48. Danka, the linebacker, first guy there.
Yeah, he did a nice job of bending that play back, getting to the perimeter.
And timeout taken by the Pirates, their first of the 3 allotted.
Prior to the snap, ECU calls their first charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
So 2nd and 1. What is Blake Harrell, former DC of this team, and Josh Ulrich, what are they thinking, Steve? And NC State's got the 1 timeout left and 93 seconds to go here.
Well, East Carolina is going to play a run-stopping defense, in my opinion. They'll line up in bear, or they'll bring a pressure, a zone pressure. Now, I think if I'm North Carolina State right now, I'm throwing a play-action pass. I'm going to take a shot here. It's 2nd down. I got 2 downs in my mind to go make a yard.
Okay.
So I think I might just take a shot on a play-action pass here.
You see Kurt Roper, now the offensive coordinator here in Raleigh. He's done a terrific job in this first half. Balance has been sensational for NC State.
They're having that conversation on the headset with the head coach right now about that very conversation here. Say, hey, listen, I'd like to take a shot. What do you think? And maybe Dave's saying, go for it.
2nd down and almost a full 2. Bailey going to run it with Smothers, and Hollywood Smothers got hit head on about a yard in. And that was Zion Wilson, 316-pound senior from Belhaven, North Carolina. Here come Daniels and the Elon transfer, Cody Hardy, into the ball game.
And they love Cody Hardy. They say he's a dude now. But I mean, there's an example. They brought a blitz from the boundary and they outmanned NC State at the point of attack on the last play.
Here's Bailey.
Got to go get a yard.
Hand it to Smothers, and he got to the 49. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
He breaks the 49. He's got the first down. And it is a first down. Riddle and Johnson were there for the Pirates. And now 56 seconds left.
I tell you, though, that's where you'd like to have a little bigger back for that situation right there. You know, to get that little extra fall and not have such a close deal.
By the way, here comes Lampley, Preston Carr, McIver rather, back in the ball game. Playing up front. Pirates only rush 3. Bailey going to slip it to the far side. Justin Jolie the catch. He's pushed out of bounds over there.
They're working the perimeter a little bit because of the pressure inside and the you know, the blitzes, the loading of the box by East Carolina to stop the run. So it's a cat and mouse game right now. You know, load the box, stop the run, be a little bit soft out in the perimeter.
Here's Bailey on a quick snap. Back across the middle, intercepted. Picked off, that's Tegan Wilk. And he'll be tackled in Wolfpack territory at the 42. Third career interception for Tegan Wilk. First turnover of the night is a Bailey interception.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a bad decision here right now by C.J. Bailey. And he's just, you've got Wilk right now in the hole, playing that hole coverage right there.
Here's Hauser, pressure coming, hit as he throws and overthrows the intended receiver on the far side. I think that was Sloan who got to him on the pressure.
It was.
It was Petaway, the intended receiver. Boy, Kean Sloan around the edge like a rocket.
When he bends, a good defensive end, when they bend, they accelerate. And that's what he did. He accelerated to the quarterback.
Marlon Gunn Jr. is in the backfield with Hauser. 3 to the bottom of the screen. Hauser looking left, throws, Smith the catch. Falls down at the 24 of the Wolfpack. Ronnie Royal was there. 15 seconds left.
Found the hole in the zone.
Here's Hauser looking, put it up for grabs, incomplete. Trying to go back to Smith on the far side. Sebastian Harsh got to the Pirate quarterback.
Yeah, he's going to get hit here late. Again, good pass rush right now. And he took a shot when he released the ball. Those are like body blows to a quarterback by Sebastian Harsh.
11 seconds left, second in the full 10. Snap to Hauser. They're going to run the football here. And a flag is thrown on the play as timeout is called. That is Gunn's first carry of the night. And a penalty on the Pirates with 6 seconds left.
Well, they saw it.
It looked like
offense number 69. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So now with 6 seconds left. Remember Nick Mazie.
Timeout. East Carolina. Their second charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Nick Mazie is a grad transfer from New Hampshire, Steve. That's who we expect to see tonight. He is beating out the veteran Andrew Conrad, who was East Carolina's field goal kicker a year ago. It looked like the run play was to set up maybe a chance at a field goal going to the locker room for Blake Harrell here.
Yeah, I think what they saw was a too high structure on defense. Both safeties high, a light box. They were going to try to get themselves 5 or 6 yards and kick the field goal. but I don't know that you want to run it on that play. I really don't. Oh, yeah, that's a big-time hold right there. Yeah, that's a big-time hold by the right guard. And, you know, he had him in a takedown. There's no time for a penalty. You can't give away those kind of yards for the field goal attempt here.
So the Pirates have 1 timeout left and 6 seconds to go. Wow. This is potentially the final play of the half here.
Yeah.
Owls are going to make a quick throw, and it's dropped by Connor. So it's now 3rd down. Javante Connor, or Riles, beg your pardon, 6, not 8. DeCirio Riles. And now this is a 53-yard try, which is 1 longer than his career best 52 at Harvard for the New Hampshire transfer, Nick Mason.
NC State takes their 3rd and final charge time out of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Going to freeze the young guy. They're going to freeze him here, put a little pressure on him. You know, that was a good call, but a risky call by East Carolina. They knew they had to get the ball out quick, and the receiver was obviously told, get down immediately. You know, because you think you can get a play run in. You know, they had 6 seconds. They had 2 extra seconds from 4. So it was a little risky, but they knew what they were doing. If he caught that ball, though, it would have been close.
He had a 52-yarder at Harvard. He's a 77% field goal kicker in his 37 career games coming into tonight. 53 yards to see if ECU can cut it to a touchdown here at the Horn, and it is short. And the half is over. The missed field goal from 53. But the Pirates are on the board. NC State, who scored 17 points in their first 4 possessions, gave up 2 big plays in the throw game to East Carolina, and the Pirate defense able to get a little leverage in the run game against NC State going to the locker room here.
That's exactly right, Wes. And you know, they really had a pass and a penalty and sort of a fake trick play, but they're right in the middle of this game.
So the Wolfpack will have the kickoff to East Carolina to start the second half. But before we get to break downstairs, Dana is with Dave Doran.
Coach, that second quarter, a bit of a momentum roller coaster. How would you assess the performance of your group?
Well, I thought we played a good first half. You know, turning the football over is something we can't do. We got caught substituting on their touchdown play. That's on us as coaches. That's not on our players. We should have tackled them. But we played pretty well. You know, just cleaning up little things, playing hard. We got to get our run game going. I thought our run game was really good in the first quarter and didn't exist in the second. So just got to get back to what we were doing earlier.
You get the sense that ECU is not going away easily. What's critical to start the third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, they're a prideful program. They're going to play hard. It's going to be a 4-quarter or more game. We know that. We got to go do what we're supposed to do.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Dana, thanks. Thanks to Dave Doran for the visit. His team is up 17-7. Stay tuned. Justin Walters, Bryce Love, Dave Clawson in our ACC Network studios after this.
ACC Network. Thanks, Wes. Welcome into this ACC Network halftime report alongside former Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson and former Stanford star running back Bryce Love. I'm Justin Walters. A 10-point lead right now, 17-7 for NC State. CJ Bailey, year 2. What did you make of his first half?
Well, I loved how they utilized him in the run game. I think that when he was distributing the ball within their scripted plays, which is usually the first quarter, first 20 plays or so, he seemed confident. He knew where to throw the ball. But at the same time, when he got off that script, you could kind of tell he got a little uncomfortable. Wasn't necessarily as confident in maybe his footwork or whatever else that may be. Would love to see him used more in the running game this upcoming quarter, but there was a lot to love. I mean, 75% completion percentage, it's nothing to gripe at.
If you take away the pick in the 2-minute drill, that half went about as well as it could for CJ Bailey. He was efficient. He made plays with his feet. He made play on the run. You get in a 2-minute drill, those things happen, but it was a great first half for him.
It feels like that one play, 79-yard touchdown by ECU was the big play, and Dave Doran took some accountability. What did you see from that play?
Well, you have to. You're playing East Carolina. Last year, they were the 4th fastest offense in the country. And so you have rules of when you can sub against a tempo team. You know, when they sub, when the ball's out of bounds, you can't sub in the middle of a series when those things don't happen. And every tempo offense has the ability to catch a defense doing that and snap the ball quickly. And if you take away the pick in that one play, you know, NC State has had their way, but now it's a football game.
It is. Looking forward to seeing how the second half shakes out. CJ Bailey, oh yeah, he's back at the starter and way more confidence. One of his 2 touchdowns on the day. NC State up 17-7. But we have some real football to talk about tonight. And out there in Raleigh, wow, this was not what you want to see, but the coaching staff took the blame for this. Connor, 79-yard touchdown to the crib, but ECU still down 17-7.
Welcome back to Raleigh. We get ready for the second half. Dr. Pepper presenting ACC Network Football primetime tonight. Wolfpack and the Pirates, 17-7. NC State as we get ready for half number 2 in a moment here in front of a sellout house tonight at Carter-Finley Stadium in Raleigh. We welcome you back upstairs. Great to be with Steve Adazio tonight, West Durham. All right. We saw momentum shifts in his first 30 minutes of play. Boy, C.J. Bailey, though, was terrific. 17 of 23, 175, a touchdown, and maybe one bad throw, the Tegan Wilk interception, Coach?
That's accurate. He's played very well in the first half. You know, you see some of the plays on replay here. He starts out with an RPO here and is able to get the ball out quick into the perimeter. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, keeps his eyes down the field, and finds a receiver for a good connection. And then they run the Q counter with the tailback lead. He has physicality, he has shake, and he has demeanor. And then a drop back route, 4 verticals, and they hit Grimes down the field for a touchdown. You saw an array of different skill sets there. Nice job by C.J. Bailey.
All right, but Blake Harrell's team got the touchdown on the long play, the trick play, late in the first half, right? Yeah. They missed an opportunity at a field goal right before the half. Now they're going to get the ball starting on their own 25-yard line. Let's check with Dana before Coach gives us the thought here. Dana?
Yeah, well, I spoke with Coach Harrell, and he said, we're not hitting the panic button. We knew we would face some adversity. He said it's a 4-quarter game, and we're prepared to play all 4 quarters. He said, we need to affect the quarterback and C.J. Bailey better. We got to be better on 3rd down, and we got to run the ball. You have to imagine, guys, that they're going to connect here on a big play offensively. It's just a matter of time.
They've had shots, Steve.
Well, Dana's right. You know, they've gotten behind NC State in the secondary. There's been some open targets, and I feel like they're going to connect on one of these deep balls as well. So NC State's got to do a good job of getting to the quarterback and not giving him a lot of time.
So Hauser puts London Montgomery on his left hip, and on 1st down they're going to hand it to Montgomery. Sloan and Fordham on the tackle for the Wolfpack of the Pirate running back London Montgomery, who a year ago had 3 games with 10 or more carries, had 67 yards early in the season a year ago against Norfolk State. Here's a quick throw. Hauser on the slant. That's Anthony Smith, and a 1st down out to the 42. Brian Nelson makes the tackle.
Soft coverage. They ran a slant from the boundary X into a soft corner. Nice connection.
Another throw here. Smith again trying to make a move. Pivoted back out of bounds at midfield.
Now they're running the quick game, attacking the same corner with the soft corner off. They obviously saw something and halftime made a decision that they want to attack this. You see the cushion by the corner. They're going to play too high, roll that corner up in a minute here and take that throw away.
3 to the field again, and now they're going to hand it to Montgomery, and Fordham is there. So is Harsh. 1st down run, though, for East Carolina to the NC State 45.
Well, that's what they did, Wes. They played too high in the coverage, and they rolled the corner up, and now it makes them light in the box. So So East Carolina was able to run the ball for a good pickup.
There's a throw on the perimeter, and again, this is Mangrum, the grad student, transfer from South Carolina. He is from Greenville, South Carolina. And he gets about 3 on first down.
Stay on schedule here now for East Carolina.
Now Riles, the tight end, lines up in the backfield, and here is Hauser going to take the long throw and misfires, looking for Yannick Smith. Sebastian Harsh, though, he and Sloan have announced their presence here tonight in their first ever games with the Wolfpack.
They sure have, and he affected that throw. That's what happened. He got pressure. And Kalen felt it and was affected. He kind of flipped his hips and didn't really get any moxie into that throw. It was inaccurate.
Parker Jenkins comes in. This is 3rd down and 7 now. And Hauser's going to keep. And he'll be pulled down shy of the first down by about 2 yards.
They'll go for it here.
Yep, they're getting on the line here.
Got
quickly.
NC State better get their defensive front set here.
Yep. There's Hauser, going to hand the ball to Jenkins. He didn't get it on 4th down.
Big stop here by NC State. They needed that stop because ECU was coming off that momentum at the end of the half and then starting out with momentum. So that's a good stop. They knocked the left guard back, created penetration, and you know, again, it's Sebastian Harsh, violent with his hands, knocking the offensive line backwards right there.
An 8-play drive, and they give it away on downs, and the Wolfpack now start from their 36 with a 10-point lead. Blake Harrell rolled the dice on 4th and 2.
That was the right call. Got to play aggressive.
And now we're going to get a movement penalty on the Wolfpack.
False start. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You like the call by Coach Harrell?
I love the call by Coach Harrell. You're on the road. You're playing NC State. You got to go for that 4th down. It's what it is. Keep being aggressive. Don't back off. I don't like the penalty here. That's a no talent issue right there. It's just lack of focus, concentration. Now you're behind the sticks.
You see Caden Hauser and John David Baker looking on the tablet. Here's Bailey now after they lost 5, and now another unforced error on the Wolfpack. That's 10 yards now before they've snapped it once.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that's Jacarius Peak from Valdosta, who's making his 20th consecutive start for Dave Dorn in the offensive line. That's not something anybody in red expects.
No.
Too good a player there.
Too good a player to make that mistake. That's 2 in a row.
5th penalty of the night on the Wolfpack, 50 yards. Now they're trying to get the run game started. And that was Smothers. He got back the first or the second 5-yard penalty, so to speak. Zion Wilson, the tackle for East Carolina.
2nd and long. As a coach, you hate these calls right now. 2nd and long. I mean, obviously 3rd and long is worse, but second and long is no box of chocolates.
5 receivers in the package here for Bailey. That's Smothers in motion in the orbit. Bailey going to come back here, got batted away and almost intercepted. Oh my, Raheem Craig with almost just a terrific individual effort. And is he shaken up or just disappointed?
Timeout for injured defensive player.
And I think Craig is injured.
5. Hot clock. We got a hot clock on 3rd.
I mean, this is just a 4-man rush. They try to cut block him in the quick on the quick bubble screen, and he goes right over the cut block and almost picks the ball. That's an athletic looking play right there.
Sure was.
That's called Hazon scholarship too, and I'm coming to get that ball.
Raheem Craig, Taylorsville, North Carolina. One of the premier rush guys for this Pirate defense of Josh Aldridge. Bailey the give. They're going to run it with Smothers. Made 1 man miss, and he'll get back about 10 more yards. Jamarly Riddle, the tackle, but it'll still be a 3 and out for NC State. Noonkester will come on to punt it away, and Wolfpack dodged a bullet on the Craig diving potential interception. And now Kyler Pearson will drop deep, and Blake Harrell's squad's going to get it back without a lot of damage off the 4-down miss there.
That was a quiet, good play by Jamarlee Riddle. He had space right there. He made a shoestring tackle. That would have been a first down. It was a heck of a play.
Second 3 and out of the night by the Wolfpack. Noonkester hangs it up and takes a Wolfpack bounce. It'll skip out around the 16. That's going to bring us to a timeout. Still 10-point lead. East Carolina's second possession of the half comes up next from Raleigh. Well, don't forget more ACC Network football tomorrow night, presented by Dr. Pepper. Kennesaw State out of Conference USA is in Winston-Salem. The Jake Dickert era starts tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, right here on ACC Network. Don't forget, 2-hour ACC PM gets you started. Marlon Gunn Jr., the running back. Here's Caden Hauser now. East Carolina off at 17. Quick throw, perimeter. Anthony Smith. A good, sure tackle by Jamel Johnson, the Temple transfer. And here come the Pirates on 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard throw.
NC State's in their 3-4 front right now, showing a 5-man front. See if they bring a simulated pressure here.
They're going to try and run the ball with Gunn, and nowhere. Wow. Wolfpack flying around Trey Thomas after Sean Brown made the initial stop.
Good, strong defense. Look at the penetration over the right tackle, created the bubble for the back, and then the overlap tackle. That was nice. That was good defense. You're the defense. Sean Brown overlapped that. Nice defense. He fell back and made the play. Really well done.
They bring Parker Jenkins in now with Hauser. 4 receivers. Hauser looking to make the quick throw. Jenkins can't hang on. Hit him in the hands. 3 and out go the Pirates. Pretty good rally by NC State defensively from what we saw late in the first half.
Yeah, they showed some nice juice on that series. They're playing with some intensity. They're running to the football, playing fast. Good series for them. Not a great series there for ECU. It kind of seems like, you know, get momentum, give it away. Get momentum, give it away. Someone's got to take it.
Here's a fake. They're going to throw it out in the flat, and it's caught. First down for the Pirates. Out to the 38, 37-yard line. East Carolina completes the fake punt. Duncanson on the back end of the throw from the punter Levy.
Really a gutsy call by Blake Harrell. Just a gutsy call, and that's what you have to kind of regain momentum. He took his chance on that. They saw that something they liked, that they could run that. That's the fake they worked on all training camp, and they said, we got it, and they got it.
They threw it to Kieran Davis. I said Duncanson. There's 2 35s both on the defensive side, and that was Davis, the backup at defensive end, young man from Roswell, Georgia, on the fake punt. So the drive is alive, and look at Ryan Levy. You bet, huh? Delivered a dime. Second down, and right at about 6, and now we got a penalty. I think the Pirates with a false start here.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Levy's like, come on, somebody got to bump me up here, right?
Oh, Lord.
So here's Caden Hauser now, 2nd and 11, back at the 35. Quick throw at the 40, and quickly 2 guys in a red shirt right on top of Yannick Smith, the wide receiver. And Brandon Cleveland, we told you in the first half, He would be back for half two, suspended for the first half because of the altercation at the end of the Military Bowl between these two schools.
Now you can feel his presence right now. You know, he's fresh and he's powerful.
Hauser throws. That got batted in the air, and Smith was the intended receiver again. And boy, NC State, Marshall got a hand on it. And it looked like Caden Fordham had released from linebacker and almost was able to get this, Steve.
Yeah, that was a great break on the ball, you know, by Devon, and risky, but a great break. He had to take it, and they're lucky they got out of that.
So it's 7 plays and not the 3 and out. And here is Levy now to punt. Grimes inside the 25 to wait on it. And we got an early start again. You know, this first half, the first quarter of the first half was relatively clean.
Prior to the snap, full start. Offense number 23. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
But all of a sudden now we're starting to see unforced errors both schools here in half 2.
Yeah, they really are, and you know, sometimes what happens is the the enormity of the game. You know, hey, we got a chance in this thing. Hey, we're getting back in this thing, and everyone's pressing a little bit right now. You know.
So Grimes will move up 5 yards to the 27, and here's the Levy punt, end over end. Grimes signaling for the fair catch, running grab of it right around the 20. 10-point lead for the Wolfpack. Back to Raleigh in a moment. The all-new ESPN app is here, and for the best experience, all you need to do is follow these 3 simple steps.
First, you'll need the ESPN app on your connected TV or favorite device. If you have it, open it up. If you don't, download it now. Next, click on the live event or ESPN show you want to watch. Then choose your TV provider and log in. You're all set. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. Go to support.espn.com to learn more.
And when they say all the games, Adazio, they mean all the games.
That's a beautiful thing.
Oh. Wolfpack off the 20, still leading it by a 10-point margin here with 8.5 to go in quarter number 3. Bailey the snap, a little low. Nice job fielding it. Quick shot here to the near side, a rolling catch. And that's Wesley Grimes right in front of Jordy Lowry at the 32, and that's a Wolfpack first down.
Yeah, good protection on that play. Nice pocket for him to step up and throw a strike. Well done.
Grimes has got his 3rd reception of the night. He had 5 games of 3 or more catches a year ago for Dave Doran.
He's their deep threat guy. He's their speed guy.
First down give, trying to get it to Smothers, gets to the outside. Hollywood's got 5 around the corner, first down again. Ooh, buddy. You might want to get him in the first 2 or 3 steps, Steve.
And they run a little counter play in here, and he bounces it outside. It's all him with burst and speed, and then a little bit of poor tackling. Nice run. Hollywood Smothers, that's what he brings. He's got that juice. He can go. I'd like to see a little play action down the field right now. We got to get some down the field throws here. Explosions.
Here's Bailey. Going to hand the ball again to Smothers, and there is Carr to make the play behind the line on Hollywood Smothers, Dana.
Well, in case you're wondering, Hollywood is not his real name, he told me this week. It's Dalen, and I said, how did Hollywood come about? He said, when I was in junior league football, Pee Wee football, my coach said, you're like Hollywood. You're a movie star. You're always ready for the action. Lights, camera, action. I said, does your mom call you that, though? She does not. She calls him Zay, which is his middle name. So you got to have a certain level of confidence to have that type of name.
Yeah.
It's a lot of names. He's got 3 names going.
Dalen is, Hollywood getting stretched out. And here's Bailey on the throw. Jolie, the catch. Nice spin. Dives back toward the 48. 3rd and a little bit more than halfway for the Pack. Boy, Justin Jolie. You like the way he looks in the workout, don't you?
I do. He's powerful. You know, he's got some run after catch. He's another guy to me that they got to get the ball to here a little bit more. You know, but he got him back in 3rd and manageable here.
Wolfpack is 6 of 11 tonight on 3rd down. Play clock down to 7. Bailey. Here's the snap. Pirates only rushing 3. CJ's got time. Now he's going to tuck. Back to the backside of the play. First down at the 45. Out of bounds at the East Carolina 40. Into the bench area went CJ Bailey. Julian Davis, Jr. from McDonough, Georgia, shoved him out of bounds.
Talk about protecting the quarterback. They might want to try protecting the quarterback on that play. I thought they tackled him far out of bounds.
So at the 39 after the keep from Bailey.
They lost contain with the defense. They rushed 3 and dropped 8 and lost contain. You can never lose contain when you rush 3. You got to keep the quarterback inside.
1st and 10. A play fake again by Bailey. CJ gonna set, fire over the outstretched hands, and that was Keenan Jackson, the sophomore from just outside of Charlotte, played in that terrific program at Weddington High School. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I think nice job of staying alive at the receiver position. I think CJ was moving quite a bit, trying to avoid that pressure off the edge, and just didn't really have a chance to set his feet properly. I bet he'd like to have that throw back. That's one that he could have made. It would have been a big play.
Jamarly Riddle was in kind of the throwing lane of CJ Bailey there. 2nd down 10. Little delay across the middle, and here is Joe Lee working to the near side. He'll be tackled shy of the 1st down, and that's Reason from the Pirates secondary.
This is the middle screen to the tight end. It's like a jailback screen. Nicely done, but right now, Joe Lee, get vertical, get the 1st down. He left himself a little bit short here. Now it's 3rd and a foot. Maybe a little bit more. It's a heck of a play, too. He's a big, powerful guy. Get vertical, catch the ball, get north.
CJ Bailey over 200 yards now on 21 of 28 in the ball game. From under center on 3rd and short, play fake. Bailey looks, middle of the field. Joe Lee in and out of his hands. Coverage by, and a flag's been thrown. Jackson Barker was in coverage, and CJ Bailey took a shot, and a marker's been thrown. Dave Doran 3-4 strides off the Wolfpack bench toward an official.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
That is Tegan Wilk, who had the interception in the 1st half.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a late hit, but I got to tell you what. CJ's going to earn a lot of respect in his football team because he stays in there right now and really delivered a good ball. And Joe Lee really hit the ground hard with his head. It ricocheted a little bit when he hit the ground. But I'm impressed with CJ's toughness on that play.
So Joe Lee to the Wolfpack sideline. Pistol set now for NC State at the 15, and Smothers dancing away from would-be Pirate tacklers. Squeezes out 2, maybe 3 yards. Should have lost about a half dozen and got 3.
Great effort, really tremendous effort there by Hollywood Smothers. There was nothing there. Major penetration up front. I really like to see this offensive line, secure the blocking here right now. There's just too many penetrating defensive linemen, TFLs. It's too much. They're in the backfield.
Just ahead of 4 to go in the 3rd. Bailey the snap. Here comes the pressure. Quick throw, and launched it behind Anderson at the far side. In fact, the break on the ball was Chance Graves. And NC State might have dodged one there, Steve.
Yeah. Well, what they did was they put quads to the right, and they wanted to play the numbers game. They saw an isolation back to the field over here for the one-on-one, but that's a long cross-field throw right there. It's dangerous. And I'm not sure what happened at the top of that route. Something didn't look right there.
You see how NC State's offensive momentum has changed a little bit on this possession. Here's the 10th play. Snap to Bailey. Pirates rush 4. Here's CJ. Throws end zone, and flag will be thrown on the coverage there. They're going to throw the marker here on Jonathan Jean, I believe. Marker thrown in the end zone.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Transfer from Rice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Major got him on the back, tugged him. Easy call to make. Right now, NC State now, they've got the ball just around the 2-yard line here right now. They've got to have the ability to run this thing in. It's almost like, you know, we got to make a statement here.
Jolie's come back in. He and Hardy, the 2 tight ends to the left. They bring Daniels to the right. I formation. They hand it. Smothers drives. Did he get in? Touchdown for the Wolfpack. Smothers had 6 rushing scores a year ago. He punches it in from 2 out.
They're running to the strength right there, to Justin Jolie and Cody Hardy, to the tight end wing combination. And what they're doing there is extending the gaps over there on the defense. And that's what I love about that set. It really puts pressure on the defense, and you can run the ball well. And they're doing that with a smaller back. A bigger back, that thing would have hammered up in there even better. So that's the right idea right there. A little demeanor play, a little physicality. They've got to be able to run the ball better than they are right now. It's been spotty, and it's got to get more consistent. Nice drive, little help with some penalties, but nice score.
Smothers in the end zone. Now here's Konochinski to try and make it 24-7. And the kick is good by the redshirt freshman. Well, Hollywood Smothers, Dana, he lived up to the billing. He punches in the touchdown, but he set the table in the drive. Wolfpack in front by 17 in Raleigh. So NC State's made it 24-7 on the Smothers touchdown run. And you see we're late here in quarter 3 in Raleigh. So Parker Jenkins, and that is Brock Spalding. You see number 10 deep to receive here for East Carolina. Britt Whistle drives it in the sky, and Jenkins at the 7. Working back toward the middle of the field and tackled shy of the 30-yard line. Let's go back to the Smothers touchdown here, and little post whistle stuff going on here, but I think cooler heads are going to prevail. Let's go back to the touchdown. Steve, a moment ago.
Looking here at the right guard for North Carolina State. And that's Spike Souls. And Spike Souls is a young freshman here. They think has got great promise and future of the program. Well, his dad played for me at Indiana, and he was a great offensive lineman, played a lot of years in the pros, one of my favorite players. And here's his son. Full circle moment for me, I can tell you that right now.
East Carolina's got London Montgomery in the backfield. There's Spike on the bench. Throw out on the perimeter. Montgomery trying to make a Wolfpack player miss. And now a marker gets thrown from, my goodness, out on I-40 behind the play. Brody Barnhart made the tackle.
Several couple of them.
Yeah, 2 of them, huh?
Holding. Offense number 1. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Yannick Smith, the wide receiver. Against Jackson Vick. Oh, they're lucky it wasn't a face mask. Just a hold.
Yeah.
So you're saying Isaac Souls pretty good player, huh?
He was a heck of a player. What a wonderful kid. Loved football, worked so hard at it, and just a wonderful human being, and went on and had a really good career in the NFL. And I saw him here tonight pregame, and
oh, man.
I was really proud of him and his beautiful family.
That's great. Won't be the first or last Dazio guy we see in our travels this year. Play fake. Hauser throws, and a sliding catch by Spalding right around the 34-yard line. Terrific grab by Brock Spalding.
Well, they got
9 career catches prior to that one.
Back in schedule here now.
The previous play of a catch is under further review.
So, Charles Lamartina and this American Conference crew want to have a look-see at the grab by Spalding. Caden Hauser, by the way, now 18 of 30 for 210 if this stands. I don't know if he caught it on the forearm.
Yeah, he might have trapped this a little bit. This is close. It looks like it hit the ground a little bit. You know, let's see all these great angles here right now.
Oh boy.
I don't think he had quite enough possession there. That would be my guess, but this could go either way.
Yep.
Good camera work right here, though, and really good effort here by the receiver trying to get his hand underneath it. You know, Brock Spalding does a nice job with his hand work there, but I think it might have hit the ground.
Drew Shavy, our director tonight. The great Ben Ward, our producer here in Raleigh.
We got the angles, man.
Great camera work, folks. Pleasure to be with you. With our first ACC Network primetime coverage of the year. We'll be in Dallas on Saturday night, by the way. We'll get a... Yeah, and by the way, Saturday night, Steve, we're going to be in the Game Day Command Center. We'll be able to hear the discussion from the Uptown Charlotte headquarters of the Atlantic Coast Conference back to the game site. That'll be part of our coverage each Saturday night on primetime.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a great look for the audience, a little window into what goes on.
Yeah, you're going to hear the real-time officiating deliberations. We'll have it for you starting Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, following Virginia Coastal, which is part of our quadruple coverage of games here on ACC Network. We'll start at high noon in Pittsburgh with the Panthers and the Duquesne Dukes. And then we'll have Eastern Kentucky at Louisville, Virginia hosting Coastal. Cavaliers now, a little optimism in Charlottesville. Chandler Morris at the wheel, quarterbacking Tony Elliott's team. And then we'll wrap things up in Dallas with Rhett Lashley, Kevin Jennings, and the Mustangs. And they're expecting a sellout house at Ford Stadium. They heard you were coming.
Review, the ruling on the field is upheld.
So upheld means it's a catch for Brock Spalding.
Good for Brock Spalding. Good for ECU. That looked like one of those ones to me. They must have decided that there wasn't enough to overturn it.
That's it.
But I don't know. Interesting.
Saturday night, by the way, they heard you were coming. We got a sellout house.
Well, I hope they also heard we were coming for some good barbecue or something. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Yeah.
Second down. Another quick shot. Ball got caught. Immediately hitting the ground over there is Smith again. At the 41. That's a first down. Hauser. Another far side throw over in front of the Pirate bench, and that's London Montgomery, the running back. And all of a sudden, with 2.5 to go here in the third, East Carolina's moving the tempo up in the gearbox.
Now they're throwing the ball quick. That was a relief throw. Check down.
They're going to run it with Montgomery, and boy, nice play. Brody Barnhart slipped in and was able to get enough of London Montgomery to hold him to just a couple of yards, but enough for the first down at the 46.
Like to see NC State have their stinger back here on defense and get some knockback. Right now, ECU is really getting some push up front.
There's Kenny Soares, the strong side linebacker, making the play. Steve, the battle for coaches against tempo. You got to kind of measure your group, right? You got to try and hold your personnel group too, right? How important is one from the other?
If you're going tempo, you got to keep your personnel on the field. You can't exchange personnel.
Defensively?
Offensively. And defensively, you've just got to get off the field. Otherwise, if they don't change groupings, your guys got to gut this out, and you practice that.
2nd and 7. Hauser to throw. Trying to cut it loose. Spalding inside the 10. With the big catch for the Pirates. 1st and goal for ECU. Over the top of Barnhart. Hauser dropped it in the bucket to Brock Spalding.
Nice throw by Hauser. You're right. That is a drop in the bucket. Really nice catch. Go up and get it.
38-yard throw. Quick shot to the perimeter. And that got chopped down. Brian Nelson fired through.
I mean, I don't like those little sideline screens down here at the 5-yard line. There's not a lot of field there.
What do you want? 2 tight ends, 2 backs?
Why not?
Yeah, I know. I know where you're coming.
Come on.
Line up. Knock them back, right?
Knock them back, man. They got some big bodies up front.
Marlon Gunn, the running back. East Carolina substituted, so NC State's got a chance. Here's Hauser handing to Gunn. It'll be 3rd and goal. Brought down right around the 4 by Travali Price.
Big Brandon Cleveland in there, trying to plug the middle. He looks like he's a little tie-tie right now, though. He's got to give us a little juice down here. Come on, 44. This is where you earn your money right here.
Hauser checking. And now that will be the end of the 3rd. They'll switch ends. Dave Doran in the Wolfpack up 17 going to the 4th. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, ACC Huddle live at Tiger Town. Get you ready for the season's first full Saturday. 2-hour pregame show previews the entire ACC slate. Players, coaches from across the league and more. Taylor Tannenbaum leads our crew starting at 10 a.m. Eastern on ACC Network. And they turn it red in Raleigh as we go to quarter 4. Wolfpack leading East Carolina. And the Pirates go to work, 3rd and goal inside the 5 with Gunn. Here's Hauser, took a huge shot. Gunn hits the pylon. Touchdown for the Pirates. Caden Hauser got blasted on the option.
Really nice call there. You know, John David Baker saw them. They lined up in what they call bare goal line. Okay, and they ran the speed option and pitched it off the end. That used to be the real play that everyone would run against bare goal line. They executed it well. Get it on the perimeter. Tough to run it inside.
4-yard run from Marlon Gunn Jr. 9-play, 72-yard drive. It's a 10-point game again after the extra point. Boy, but the quarterback got crushed on the play.
Yeah.
Look at Sloan.
Well, you know, we used to run the option a bunch, right, at Florida and at Syracuse, and we always taught the quarterback when you pitched, you got to fade away as you pitch to take away that hard shot. He kind of pitched it on the run and ran into the hit.
Yeah.
And boy, he took one.
Second touchdown of the night for the Pirates. Look, Caden Hauser. And Marlon Gunn Jr. 3 rushing scores a year ago.
Well, we said, Wes, we thought that there'd be a deep ball that would go down the field and get behind the NC State coverage. Yeah. And that's what happened and set that score up right there.
Yep. Set up by the throw to Spalding. And now here is Duke Scott to take the kickoff. And Scott will field it in the end zone, and Wolfpack will head out to the 25-yard line to get started. Just underway now here in the 4th quarter of play. NC State outscored opponents 155-85 in the 4th quarter last year. East Carolina scored almost 40% of their entire point total in the 4th quarter last year.
Wow. Well, see if they can work some of that magic this season. This is a big drive for NC State. They need to answer that with a drive of their own here.
Hollywood Smothers 78 yards on 21 carries with C.J. Bailey in the backfield. Here's Bailey. Back to his right. Long throw. Caught. First down. That is Grimes to the 35-yard line. And Grimes is out. And they're asking for the sports medicine folks quickly. With 14:47 to play.
For injured offensive player.
So we'll step aside here in Raleigh.
Timeout on the field.
Grimes a career high 88 yards receiving. Back after this. Career high night. Noah Rogers is the injured Wolfpack player a moment ago. After the completed pass for the first down at the 35, he's headed to the locker room. Said Grimes on the original play. It was Rogers, the transfer from Ohio State in his second year here in Raleigh. And here's Bailey on a play action throw, taking the deep shot for Grimes in traffic, held on inside the 20 of East Carolina. You and Kurt Roper on the hotline during the break?
No, but I mean, it was time. We needed to see some balls down the field off of play action, and we needed an explosive. They're crowding the line of scrimmage for the run game. Nice throw.
Career high night for Wesley Grimes, 121. Almost a minute in now in the fourth quarter. Bailey continues to have a fine night. Hand to Smothers, trying to skip to the near side. Made a man miss, flags down as he breaks the 15. And we've got an injured Pirate, and that is Jonathan Jean, who's shaken up about the 15-yard line. And a penalty, I think, on the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it's going to be holding. It's a shame. That's what happens when the backs bounce these things like that. That play's supposed to hit in the A-gap, okay? And if it can't hit the A-gap, then it bounces. It's a counter play. But it didn't.
Holding. Offense number 44. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's Cody Hardy, the tight end.
Right. I think he was the. He might have been the second puller.
As they tend to Jonathan Jean, we're going to look at the play here.
Correction. The penalty will be marked from the previous spot.
He kind of had him a little bit. He needed to let go. I like his aggressiveness. I love the way he was driving after the play. Just let go a little bit quicker. They probably wouldn't have called that. That's aggressive football playing right there.
So the penalty will push NC State back out to the East Carolina 29.
Yeah, that's a costly penalty. It took him out of the red zone. 1st and 20.
So Anderson goes to the far side. Joe Lee, 2 receivers here wide left. That's Jackson in motion. Bailey, another play fake. Dumps it right in the middle of the field. There's Smothers inside the 20 to the 19. DJ Johnson, the stop for ECU.
He got 10 back. You see Hollywood Smothers stick his foot in the ground on that play right there. This guy is quick, man. He can change direction. He gets the check down, boom, puts his foot in the ground. Pretty good open field tackle, really. This East Carolina team does a nice job tackling.
Noticed it early, even when things weren't shaping up too well in the first half. They were very sure tackles from the secondary. Here's Bailey now, setting, throws, end zone, and stretched out. And now a flag's been thrown. The ball intended for Anderson. And Jamarly Riddle, I think, a defenseless hit on Terrell Anderson. Let's see what this marker is.
That's what it's going to be.
Personal foul, targeting. Defense number 2. That play is under further review.
So we'll go to the principals here on the potential targeting call against Riddle.
I'd say that's targeting. Yep.
Contact to the head or neck area. Defenseless player.
This is what they're trying to get out of football. Yep.
Possibly launch.
It's contact to the head, defenseless player. It looks pretty clean. That's going to be the call to me.
Here we go live at full tilt.
Yeah. They ran a nice bootleg on that play too. They pulled the guard for an extra protector for C.J. Bailey. He just had he let that throw get away from him a little bit, and he hung the receiver out to dry just a little bit. He had him.
Boy, what nice collaborative coaching's going on tonight for Kurt Rover and his offensive staff, right?
Yeah.
Wide receivers, O-line. We've seen a lot of things come into play here. Now, some of the staff was here obviously in place last year. They've done a really nice job.
After further review, there is no targeting on the play. It's third down.
So there you go.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Now, again, on Saturday night, you'll be able to hear that entire conversation with our ACC access to the Game Day Operations Center in Uptown Charlotte.
I'd have liked to heard that conversation, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So now third down.
Yeah.
And 10 at the 19. 10-point lead for the Wolfpack. Here's Bailey. Now buying time. Back to his left. CJ thought about it and going to take the sack back at the 23. McIver, the big defensive tackle. First sack of the night for East Carolina. And now we got Jolie and one of the Pirates, Danka.
He's got good protection here, and honestly, this is his youth here. Throw the ball out of the back of the end zone right now. Don't take a sack there right now. Don't give away any more yards for your field goal try. Do not take that sack.
Konachensky hit from 29 in the first quarter. First points of the night for NC State. This is 40 yards for the freshman. And he pulled it. A missed field goal from 40 yards. A 10-point game, 12:23 to go.
ACC Network College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing.
A missed field goal by NC State keeps it a 10-point game with 12:23 to go in Raleigh. East Carolina takes over. Ball at its 23. Welcome back to Raleigh tonight with Steve Adazio, Dana Boyle, Wes Durham. Our ACC Network primetime coverage. So Konachensky missed the 40-yarder after hitting from 29 earlier in the ball game. Now Caden Hauser and the Pirates trying to get on the run game. And a trip up of Mike Wright Jr. out in space. That's Sean Brown for the Wolfpack. We have seen Mike Wright, who's listed as the backup quarterback to Caden Hauser. We've seen him. This is the second time we've seen him line up as a wide receiver.
Heck of an open field tackle.
His sixth and final year of college ball. And now they hand to Spalding. And that got blown up by the Wolfpack again. That was Cleveland, I think. Look at this.
I'm not sure if they're trying to run the reverse here. And there was penetration, so he kept it. I think they were trying to run the reverse.
So Sebastian Harsh is the guy who blocked all that traffic. And now it's third down and 15. Four on the line for the Pack. Hauser to throw, middle of the field, caught. First down, Yannick Smith. Out beyond the 40, and here's John David Baker's offense on a 22-yard throw.
Well, they're going to go fast now. Put it down and snap it.
We're only 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, Steve. They're going to run with gun. And maybe 2 to the 42.
These teams are fighting. There's life. They're scrapping for everything they can get right now. Playing hard, playing physical. Both sides of the ball.
They move Riles, the tight end, to the left. Here's Hauser with time. Launching far side. Spalding caught inside the 25 to the 20. Brock Spalding, another downfield catch for the Pirates against Johnson.
They're going to go fast here.
Sure are. 39-yard throw. They're going to try and run the rock, and Harsh is having none of it. Sebastian Harsh is winning early and often against East Carolina tonight.
Yeah, they found where they want to go now. They're working that boundary corner over here right now, and they're getting on top of them fast, and they're going to come back to it again. We haven't seen the last of it. They're going to have to be able to give some help to that corner.
And we got movement here, and it's on the Pirates. East Carolina litigating it's on NC State, and now the American crew huddles. And it's been confirmed on the Pirates. Boy, Blake Harrell's upset.
Full start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Emmanuel Poku. Yep.
They've got movement there, you know, the quick movement by the defensive front. They're probably trying to say they pulled them off with that, you know, movement trying to draw the offense. But
here's Hauser from the pocket, now going to step up. Pumps, going to run near side and knocked down at the 15. He'll be 6 shy of the first down. J.J. Johnson, the stop for NC State.
Can't lose contain on this guy. You know, and either one of these quarterbacks, you've got to keep them in the pocket. They get out on the edge like that. Both of them are highly capable of getting a bunch of yards.
Wolfpack turn over some of their front. Tyler Johnson is the wide receiver to the far side. 2 guys here to the near side. Now Riles, the tight end, in traffic. Here come the Wolfpack with pressure. They try to throw to Riles. It was short. Incomplete. Now 4th down. And Harrell's going to kick the field goal here to try to make it a touchdown difference.
Absolutely. That's the right thing to do. Get the points here. You want to still keep this thing in a positive direction. This is a big kick right here for East Carolina.
Steve missed from 53 at the end of the half. This is 34. So Mazzy will line up here. 8:38 to play. 10-point lead for NC State. Snap, spot. Kick is away, and it is good. So here comes East Carolina and NC State. Another tight fit in Raleigh. Back in a moment. Well, don't forget full day on Saturday here on ACC Network. Duquesne Pitt get us started at noon. Then off to Derby City, EKU and the Cards, Coastal Carolina, Virginia, and then Coach Dana and I will be in Dallas, number 16 SMU, and Clint Dalzell and the Lions of East Texas A&M. Wrap up the night. 9 o'clock start East Coast time right here on ACC Network. And don't forget, ACC Final Score follows us from Dallas late Saturday night. And that'll be called for in the end zone, so the Pack will scrimmage from its 25. And we told you these two teams do this often. 2022. Off to Greenville we go. NC State escaped with a win. A missed extra point that would have tied the game, Steve.
Wow, I've been there.
And a missed field goal at the end of the game. Whew, how about that?
Man, oh man.
Dave Dorn got all that gray in the beard right there.
Yeah, it was a young Dave Dorn. He's seasoned now.
Yep. 53-year-old Kansas native, now in season number 13 here in Raleigh. Pistol set now for the Pack. Here is Bailey with time, cuts it loose, deep ball, and caught! What a catch! Somebody get Teddy Hoffman ready in the bullpen. The rookie has been electric tonight.
He's all over the field. Look at him come back for that football. I love it. I love it. Another shot down the field. That's what NC State has to do.
50-yard throw to Hoffman. 24-17 the score, and now Bailey's over 300 yards in the ball game. Wolfpack trying to get set. 5 on the play clock. Snap to Bailey. They'll hand to Smothers, and the Pirates take Hollywood Smothers down for a loss.
Pirates are in the backfield on that play. There's too much penetration. Give this kid a chance to get going here.
Ryan Roseborough, the tackle. Midway home in the 4th. And now here comes Carr, Lampley, a couple of other guys in purple hats. You see C.J. Bailey with 318 yards. He's 11 shy of his career high. He had 329 against Syracuse here in Raleigh last fall. 3rd 300-yard game of his career. Here's Bailey, thought about it, now going to run. C.J. into traffic, and a nice play. That's Preston Carr.
Yeah, not sure why he pulled that ball in that play, but he saw something.
So 3rd and 12 now. And remember, we're coming off the missed field goal by Konachinski a moment ago, too. Touchdown difference. 6.5 to play. The snap. Here's Bailey. This is a keep. Trying to get to the perimeter. Running out of room. The ball came out, and Bailey, I think, was able to recover. Hard to tell. Did the ball ever come loose? Lampley makes the tackle back at the 30. This is going to be like a 47-yard try.
The ball looked loose. I don't know that he ever lost it, but he did look like he was having a hard time with it.
10th tackle for loss tonight by the Pirates. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, no, it never got loose. He just let the point drop, and you can't carry that ball low. They tried to run that cute counter play again, but there was nowhere to go.
46-yard try for the freshman to put it back to 10 with under 6 to play. And that one's no good to the right. So a missed field goal, back-to-back now, from Nick Konachinski. And it's a 7-point game with 5:41 to go. And here goes East Carolina and NC State again.
You kind of wonder, you know. I mean, will we see Kanoa Vincent? I mean, he's a veteran guy and did a good job for him last year. If this thing comes down to the end, do they stay with Nick, or do they make a change? It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
So London Montgomery comes in the ball game. Pirates scrimmage from their 29. Give is Montgomery. Rattles the left side. Gets 8, almost 9. And they're going to call it a first down. 10 full to the 39. Both guys with 318 tonight. You see Caden Hauser's numbers. And here's Hauser looking to add to it. Near side, broken up on the play. Wolfpack covered it. That's Marshall, transfer from Villanova.
Nice play by Davon Marshall, poking that ball out of there. That was going to be a completion. He got his left hand and separated the ball from the receiver, because that was caught and punched out.
2nd down in the full 10. Hauser, the play fake, quick throw. Catch is made, and that's Riles. First down into Wolfpack territory to the 42-yard line. Or Connor, beg your pardon, 8, not 6.
They brought a pressure and created that hole in the zone.
Another throw. This is Spalding slipping one tackle. Fordham got him on the ground after an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, nice move. Missed open field tackle. This Spalding's a good football player.
2nd and 2 now. 4:40 to play. Montgomery the carry, and he got turned back for no gain. Sean Brown, 0 in the red, wrapped him up.
We got a big third down here now. This is a big call.
Brown's hurt. Shaking up on the play. Cannot get him off the field.
Yeah, third and 2 now. This is a big play. Got to make a stop here. They got to get set on defense, get their cleats in the ground here. They got to go.
Hauser. They're going to hand the ball again. Montgomery. Did he get it? I think so. He broke the 32 of the Wolfpack. 4:05 to go. Fordham the stop, but now we've got a Wolfpack player down on the play.
Timeout for injured defensive player.
And that's Sean Brown, I believe, who was shaken up on the prior play, who now, after the first down was picked up, and the clock stops just inside of 4 minutes. And it's a touchdown difference.
A lot of momentum over there on ECU sideline. They're got the arms in the air. They feel like they're in this thing, and they are, and they got a lot of juice. NC State's going to have to match their intensity right now.
The Pirate faithful.
This is
a slow start tonight for Blake Harrell's team, but boy, Steve, they've done a terrific job in the Raleigh, haven't they?
They really have. They've hung in there and hit a couple of shot plays. I'd like to see the NC State defense right now get a little energy going here right now.
Caden Hauser's got a career high 345 tonight on 27 of 41.
I think this is where he's at his best, to tell you the truth. I think this kid likes having that pressure and being in crucial situations.
He only had 8 yards in the first quarter.
Wow.
Here's Hauser. Montgomery. And taken down right at the 30. Gain of 2 on first down. Now, Steve, if you're Blake Harrell, you're over there with all 3 timeouts. You're down a touchdown. I know you're in 4-down territory. I have no doubt about that. But you want to work the clock, too?
I think right now it's all about trying to get. They're a little off schedule right now. Get back on schedule to stay in 4-down territory.
Here's Hauser. Thought about it. Put it on the perimeter. Boy, what a big lick from Johnson. Put on Montgomery, and now it is 3rd and about 3. But we have a flag here at the near side toward the NC State bench.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 9 was covered and went downfield on a pass across the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So that's Anthony Smith. Oh, wow. 2nd receiver from the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
So now 2nd and just better than 10, 13. Back at the 35.
It's a whole different call now. You got to throw the ball here and get at least half of this back.
Hauser tries to cut it loose, middle of the field, caught, 1st down. Riles inside the 20 at the 18. Fordham the quick tackle for the Wolfpack.
They found that dig in the middle of the field, and he threw a nice dart on that. That's a really good ball, and he had some pressure coming. Caden Hauser's tough in these situations. Got a new set of downs now.
This will be the last play before the 2-minute timeout. 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's the dump in the flat. Riles trying to turn the corner. Got taken out of bounds with 2:21 to play. So the clock will stop there. So we will have at least one more snap before the 2-minute timeout. And it's 2nd down, and they picked up right at 5 to the 13. Boy, what a ball game this has been tonight.
What are they doing here? They're going to run this down?
Yeah, they're going to let the clock go to the 2-minute timeout. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. East Carolina's at the 2-minute timeout. They got a red zone possession. And some momentum for the boys from Greenville.
2-minute timeout.
Touchdown difference in Raleigh.
Timeout on the field.
24-17. Don't go away. Back after this. Well, back at Carter-Finley Stadium in Raleigh, ACC Network football presented by Dr. Pepper tonight. Blake Harrell and East Carolina threatening 2nd and 5 at the Wolfpack 13, trailing a touchdown. Steve, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but do you go for 2 if you score here?
I think if you feel good about your 2-point play, you got a big physical quarterback, I think you do. You're on the road, you're the underdog, I think you do.
They fake it to Spalding, and Hauser's going to be near the first down at the 9 of NC State. A.J. Richardson in to make the tackle. Remember, Sean Brown shaken up, so Richardson, transfer from Norfolk State, who enrolled last January, has got to make a play. Parker Jenkins has come in the pistol now with Hauser. They'll hand it to Jenkins. Right on the dot.
Short.
And he's short. What a collision that was. And the clock continues to run. Pirates all of a sudden have started to slow things down here, Steve.
Well, here's the 4th and 1 call. And our guy, John David Baker, said they'd run inside zone behind the left side. That's what he told. I said, 4th and 1, game on the line. What are you going to call? Well, we're going to see what he's going to call. It's 4th and 1 right now, game on the line.
Jenkins just got the door shut on him to create the 4th and 1. He stays in the game. Hauser. That's Spalding in motion. And now a timeout. Wow.
Try to draw him off sides.
ECU calls their first charge, timeout of the half.
That's the first of Blake Harrell's 3 timeouts. 41 seconds to go in the ball game. NC State by a touchdown.
It's an interesting conversation.
Game clock to 42 seconds.
42 seconds
42, please.
on the clock. He's got 2 timeouts. You wonder about that time they peeled off that clock. You know, not running a play before the 2-minute warning. Now all of a sudden the time is becoming a factor.
Yep. Stay tuned after the ball game. Justin Walter standing by. Great to have the former Stanford Cardinal back, Bryce Love, in studio with us. Former Deacon head coach Dave Clawson got plenty to discuss tonight. They'll talk to star players, break down the key moments of tonight's action. Duke Elon over at Wallace Wade, and of course NC State, East Carolina here. 2 ball games tomorrow night and a Saturday, Sunday, Monday of ACC football for you.
Nobody better than Dave Clawson to break down the game. That's one of the smartest football coaches I was ever around. He'll have a great analysis.
4th and short. Jenkins stays with Hauser off his left hip. Play fake. Hauser throws on the perimeter. Riles the catch. Flag down. Riles is stopped shy of the first down. Jamel Johnson took out the big tight end. Oh, this is a big penalty.
There's the linemen of ECU are pointing at NC State. NC State's pointing back. Who knows?
There is no foul for offensive pass interference as the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage. The result of the play is a turnover on downs.
Wow.
Wow.
3rd time tonight, East Carolina cashes out on downs.
Well, 2 timeouts left. Game's over.
One more look at this. Boy, what a play by Johnson.
Jamel Johnson has made some big tackles in the perimeter, and that's none bigger than that one right there.
Yep. East Carolina has 2 timeouts left, but 37 seconds left. And C.J. Bailey's going to take 2 knees, and NC State is going to win.
And you know what? It's a back and forth game, but a win's a win. You take it any way you can get it. 1-0 is 1-0.
Second timeout.
Yep. So Bailey, as the Pirates call their second timeout, They'll call the last one after this next snap, and that'll leave 3rd down. C.J. Bailey tonight has been, with the exception of the one throw, Steve, really, really good.
He's been fantastic. I'm very impressed by him. He's got a really bright future.
ECU takes their 3rd and final charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
You know, we talked about the play on Ryle, Steve, but on 3rd and 1, is this inside zone to Parker Jennings?
It's inside zone.
Or Jenkins, rather.
It's inside zone, and they got great knockback NC State on the offensive line of East Carolina. And they were on the other side of the line of scrimmage and stopped them short there. It was a heck of a defensive run, stop, and play. Oh, my gosh. You can't make that up.
That is Daniels moving early, I think, at the line.
Stops the clock. This is the kind of stuff that drives you crazy.
Start. Offense number 87. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Oh, they're going to have to run a play.
What are you doing? I mean,
Dave Doran.
Dave Doran right now, the acid in his stomach is just turning and eating the lining away right now. You know, you just sit there and you say, can we just end the game? Is it possible?
There it is. Well, once again, the Wolfpack and the Pirates deliver. Terrific meetings and ball games in the last few exchanges with these two schools. And the 34th meeting all time belongs to the Wolfpack. NC State is going to open the 25 campaign. Dave Doran's team goes to 1-0. Virginia visiting in a non-conference game next Saturday here in Raleigh. East Carolina goes home to host Campbell. Boy, NC State's got a terrific sophomore quarterback.
They really do. I think what they need to do is enjoy the heck out of this win, but then they need to get to work tomorrow and start shoring up some things in the back end and the secondary and up front with the offensive line, because they weren't consistent enough running the football, and in the back end they let too many receivers get behind them. So there's some things there to have to be addressed, but tonight is the time to enjoy the win, to be 1-0 at home on opening day.
Here's the other thing. They got 2 fire breathers on the edge too, huh? Harsh and Sloan.
Those guys can get after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they can rush the quarterback. They've got some really good players, but they do have some areas that they got to clean up here.
C.J. Bailey, 24 of 34 tonight, 318 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Wolfpack started off like a house of fire here tonight, and East Carolina rallied to threaten on their final drive.
I think East Carolina walks out of here and they say to themselves, we got plenty of fight. We were in this thing. We had a chance to win it in the end. They got a quarterback that's a competitor. They've got some skilled players. I think, you know, they've got some things they got to get corrected.
So 24-17 is the final. Downstairs, Dana Boyle.
Well, first of all, he's a legit 6'6". You're quite tall. How do you describe the punch for punch we saw in that game?
Yeah, it was a very physical game. You know, our team came out to play. You know, that's why we finished with the win. But we had a lot of stuff to improve on, a lot of stuff to work on with finishing and everything. We started off great, amazing, but we got to work on finishing, coming out the half better.
You put on a clinic offensively. How were you able to keep your composure when the tides changed in that game?
Yeah, just guys around me just telling me what I should do and how I should lead. You know, those guys around me kept helping me out. Like my coach, Coach Matt, is a great coach, and he kept on like keeping me in check. When everything went wrong, he let me know. But one thing I had to do was lead those guys so they can stay in it with me.
Well, we saw you leading on the sidelines, very active. I don't think I ever saw you sitting on the bench. You were with the receivers, you were with the running backs and the O-line. How have you been able to assume that leadership role so young in your career?
Yeah, it's just a lot. Coach Doran instilled all of it into me because we had leadership classes and everything like that. But that's just how I am on game day, especially when things going up and things going down. I got to get everybody going because that's how we win games. You know, that helped out a lot. You know what I mean?
Congratulations on the win. Next time I'm going to wear heels when I see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana, thanks. What terrific performance to start his sophomore campaign tonight, Steve.
One of the best things I heard was about his leadership. Dana was talking about him on the sideline with his team. We saw his skills, but what we also saw was the emergence of a leader.
Yep, no doubt. Wolfpack goes to 1-0. They get Virginia next Saturday. Non-conference game, by the way, in Raleigh. Ben Ward produced, Drew Shabby directed, our terrific ACC Network primetime crew. For Dana Boyle, Steve Adazio, West Durham, thank you so much for being a part of our broadcast. We'll see you Saturday night in Dallas. Justin Walters, ACC Huddle final score now.
Welcome into the ACC Huddle Final Score Studios alongside former Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson, former Stanford star running back Bryce Love. I'm Justin Walters. Week 1 off and running. A nice victory there from NC State. It came down to the wire. What did you think about their defensive stop?
That was a good, hard-fought win, and they had to play 4 quarters. And really the story of the game was NC State's defense. The stop at the end, holding East Carolina to 30 rushing yards after the bowl game. That's a quick flip. And they can rush the passer. They've got a very formidable front. So I think NC State has to feel great about their defensive front, their perimeter passing game, but there's always things to work on, and getting more consistency in the run game is going to be key for them.
Yeah, the immediate boost that you can see Coach Elliott brought to that defensive side of the ball. Of course, there can be some improvements in the secondary, but ultimately they were able to get after the quarterback. They were able to instill their will, and a lot of the things that he did in Philadelphia were able to kind of translate to what he's doing in State.
We just heard from C.J. Bailey. He looked a lot more confident in year 2. What did you make of his performance tonight, Bryce?
It was great. It was great. I mean, everything that we had prepped for going in terms of his skill set, I mean, we know how talented he is, and this week, this start to his second-year campaign, you can see the jump in his talent and his skills. I mean, he's passing the ball around. They're utilizing him in the run game as well, and it was great to see.
How about you, Coach?
You can tell that he's the established starter. He's gotten all the reps. He's so comfortable in the offense, and I really thought when they started pushing the ball down the field a little bit, that opened up everything for them. And so I think they've got to feel really good that they have an established quarterback. They've got some weapons on the outside that can make explosive plays. Let's find a way to run the ball a little more consistently and not have too many TFLs.
Yeah, we'll get into those details. Let's recap how it all unfolded, because NC State starting off the season the same way they ended it against ECU. C.J. Bailey back at it, and he certainly made his presence known. QB draw here, Bailey takes it to the crib, 11-yard touchdown. NC State, just like that, goes up 10-0. Next drive for NC State, Bailey does it with his arm and hooks up with Wesley Grimes here, Bryce.
Hey, what a way to climb the ladder and make a play, man.
48-yard touchdown. The first time in Bailey's career he recorded a passing touchdown and rushing touchdown in the half. Later in the second, Caton Hauser finds Javante Connor over the middle, and the reason why this touchdown happened is because of ill-timed defensive substitution. You have East Carolina trailing 17-7 thanks to that 79-yard touchdown. But here, third quarter, first and goal for the Wolfpack. Hollywood Smothers into the end zone.
Good teams are consistent on the goal line and in short yardage, and that was a very positive play for NC State.
Fourth quarter action, third and goal for ECU. They're still in this game. Marlon Gunn Jr. gets the pitch. He scores it from 4 yards out. East Carolina cuts it 24-14. There were some missed opportunities here from NC State. 2 missed field goals, this one of them from 46 yards out. But let's fast forward to the final drive for ECU. They're in this, down only by a score. This is one big stop here, Coach.
Yeah, the 3rd and 1 stop and the 4th and 1 stop, and that's the football game. And again, all night I thought NC State's front played outstanding.
And here's the 4th and 1 stop that you alluded to. The Pack defense stepping up big, 24-17, the final score, the 8th straight season opening win for the Pack. Look at Caden Fordham. He's now rocking the number 1 jersey. Only 30 rushing yards allowed, the fewest in a season opener in the last 20 seasons. Let's start once again with this defense. New look with DJ Elliott. What did you like scheme-wise that they showed in this season opener?
I thought they played a lot more 4 down, and there was really an emphasis to stop the run. And a year ago in the bowl game, East Carolina ran wild on them, and they were not going to let them run the football, and they even limited the quarterback run. So I think the big victory is they made East Carolina one-dimensional, held them to 30 rushing yards, and now you got to tighten down the secondary because you did give up some big plays. Some of it was off the substitution problem, but there were some seams in the pass game. But when you can make a team become one-dimensional, when they can't run the football, you're always playing with an advantage.
It was a collective effort tonight from the defense. What did you make of Fordham's performance, Bryce?
Yeah, Fordham stood tall. I mean, you saw it on that stop, but even beyond then, you could tell the energy that he brings to the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you see him swarming around the football, always around, making plays, being a high energy, and he's a superstar talent, honestly. I mean, a lot of the things that he does really makes him stand out as a player.
And you're coming off of an injury, so I think for him to finally get back and get on that field, it probably felt like, thank God I get to do this again and play the game I love.
Yeah, season cut short last year from that season-ending injury. Let's go back to Bailey in addition to the run game because we saw an early mistake, but he was able to have selective amnesia. What stood out to you about Bailey's poise tonight, Bryce?
His confidence. I mean, Coach touched on it a little bit earlier, but you could tell being in that system, the second year, he knows where to distribute the ball. He knows where he needs to go with his eyes. He knows where he needs to get to. And, of course, he flushed that early mistake, throwing that pick. He was able to continue on, make the right reads, push the ball downfield, which ultimately opened things up underneath as well, and really use that to win the game.
All right, Coach, you started off earlier in the day giving us a coach speak and a great motivational speech to myself and Bryce. If you are Coach Doran in terms of areas of improvement, I know the run game is very high on your list.
Yeah, I think you walk away from this game saying, guys, we cannot be one-dimensional on offense. You know, it's great what we did in the past game, and CJ, great game, Wesley, great game, but if we're going to win ACC games and Power 4 games, we have to have more consistency in the run game. We can't run the ball 1st and 10 and find ourselves 2nd and 13. And I believe today they were TFL'd, tackled in the backfield 10 times, and I think only one of those times was a sack. And you just can't, you want to have big plays in the run game, but you want to have consistent runs. And I think that's an area they're going to look at the film and say, we've got to get better at this. And the great thing is you get to have that lesson after a win.
Yeah, you mentioned a great point about the TFLs, but Hollywood Smothers still, with the hand that was dealt, he looked impressive out there.
Yeah, he did. He almost had 100 yards, even not necessarily having the best blocking up front. But even then, that's a testament to what C.J. Bailey was able to do on the offensive side of the ball. Him being able to move the ball while being one-dimensional and not necessarily having the big, consistent plays in the run game is a testament to that. But even here, you see Hollywood Smothers. He still had a pretty successful day on the ground, but they need to continue to build that out, especially as they play tougher opponents within the season.
If we go back to the deep ball connection that C.J. Bailey had with some of his receivers today, what stood out to you about his confidence when going further down the field?
To me, he set his feet, he looked confident, and he put some dimes. And I think he's found another good target in Wesley Grimes. When we were at Wake Forest, we recruited Wesley. He was in our program 2 years. We thought he had great upside, and it's great to see him living up to his potential. He was a big-time player for them tonight.
A big victory for NC State. They're 1-0. Let's take a look at the road ahead for the Wolfpack, because next up they're going to be taking on UVA, followed by Wake Forest, and then another trip at Duke. When you look at the road ahead for NC State, starting off with you, Bryce, do you believe that this schedule is manageable before that big matchup October 11th at Notre Dame?
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest opponent likely will be this Duke matchup, depending how everything goes. But they have a great opportunity to go into October 11th undefeated.
All right. Said it with his chest. How about you, Coach Clausen?
It's tough.
I would be very careful to sleep on Virginia. I think that's a much tougher matchup than people think. I think Tony Elliott did a great job this year and his staff of bringing players in the portal. Virginia invested money into players in the portal more than they ever have. and they have a very experienced quarterback with Chandler Morris that I think Virginia has a chance to have a really good football team. Now remember, this is a non-conference game. They made the arrangement with Virginia, so both teams can survive not winning the game and still winning the conference. But if NC State's going to get after that fast start, I would not look past the Virginia Cavaliers.